We heard you. 9 years of Bring Back the Snack Wrap, and you've won. But maybe you should have asked for more. Say hello to the Hot Honey Snack Wrap. Now you've really won. Go to McDonald's and get it while you can.
Welcome home.
What?
Jose Alvarado to the Knicks.
Wow.
I'm so happy.
This is big.
Are you?
Jose Alvarado?
I know, but now he's with a winner. You like him when he was, nobody watched the Magic.
Love him.
You really? Okay.
I
I'm glad
love
for you then.
Jose Alvarado. New York is obviously going to love Jose Alvarado.
That's true. He's perfect.
He's the perfect player.
Okay.
Gritty.
Well,
he's wonderful.
that's a little far.
Big personality.
He's a great addition to the Knicks.
That's
Can
what
we
I'm
leave it
saying.
at that?
Perfect player
The perfect
in his
player.
role.
Okay.
Come in, play, give Jalen Brunson a little rest.
Can I make a
get a steal?
Can I make a light suggestion real
Yeah,
quick?
of course.
Well, first things first, 3 of us maybe show out.
Ooh.
Sunday, March 1st matinee, Knicks Spurs. Last time we all went to a
did go to
game
that,
together
yeah.
was Knicks Spurs early. Wimby, he didn't do much, and in that moment I was like, that's not the GOAT. And then, but
I'm not
just,
against that.
Just think about it. Now, to
Are
full
you
disclosure,
really? You're down? I know Nick and I
already
are
have a ticket for the game. But
So can we get two with you? Can we get two next
First hour, first things first.
We'll work it out.
Today, Drake healthy, Darnold on the injury report. Is this bad news for Seattle? Meanwhile, Justin Jefferson joins the show to decide the catch of the year. A lot of conversation from Brew not wanting to put great catches in the show.
Not the college and the high school, and then I think we even got a junior high guy.
It's an amazing catch. It might be
Yeah,
catch of the
the
year.
ball's this
Justin
big.
Jefferson
I mean,
is going to decide
it's a Nerf ball.
the catch of the year. And finally, the most motivational segment in all of sports. It's the Bud List. Who's going to be under duress? Is it going to be more football, basketball? What are you looking at here?
It's a mix. It's a kind of self-explanatory to me this week.
yeah.
I feel like.
Also,
good.
I have
You have breaking news?
The NBA trade deadline has just hit. Giannis Antetokounmpo is still a Buck.
Wow.
That's not breaking news. I had that written down. Breaking news. That's super.
We're going to get
I
to
do
it
have a take.
shortly.
We're going to
Yeah.
get to that in 14 minutes. We're starting with Drake May. He's back. Shoulder is healthy. He was a full participant. Here he is after practice.
I'm feeling great. I'm so fortunate to be out here with these guys. We got a full week of practice. It felt good, on Monday, and looking forward to get back out there today and tomorrow and Friday and having a normal week. So looking forward to that and feeling good. That's why you have guys in the training room. My guy Zach and Mike. There's been multiple people in there working on getting me healthy, and I'm feeling great to go.
Love it. He's like, wow, you know what? It's not a blizzard. Feeling good. It's not, raining
that's true.
icicles on me. That's, it feels all right.
That is very true.
Is this bad news for the Seahawks, bro? You're still on. Before you answer, I'm sorry. Can you give us an update on where you are? Because Nick has been solidly Seattle.
Well, you don't know that.
It feels like it.
I've had to balance out from
It
the
feels like
propaganda that you've been
I've been
spewing.
on the Patriots since week 4, but all of a sudden I'm a fool. We're at Super Bowl week. But
Well,
you said you've got an open mind.
In my mind, I feel like I know who I'm picking, but I won't share it till tomorrow, Friday. But I will say this, Nick, I've been taking notes and listening to even our experts from the Super Bowl, the players and you guys. And Seattle is dominating, like in the checklist.
Why is that?
I mean, everybody's saying stuff that's leading me to think Seattle's going to win. Everybody. All the players, Nick, Coach, everybody except
Coach?
you.
Are you sure, Coach?
Well, you're right. Coach sounds like he might pick the Patriots.
And that would,
but
if he
still
does,
said a few things.
that's hard overhead. That's a Vrabel, Josh McDaniels
Also
thing.
one
Yeah, I
upset,
think he
also
is
one
going
upset
to.
alert this year, and it's proven to be right several times.
He was a good
that is
upset
true.
alert
But
guy.
sorry, go
But most of the checks, it's something like 14-3 or something like that. The check mark. So, but that doesn't mean that's how I'm going to go. We'll see tomorrow.
Okay.
But anyway, for this, look, obviously a healthy Drake May is better for the Patriots, better for the game, and worse for Seattle. But should they be afraid? I mean, they just beat Matthew Stafford, who threw 15 more touchdowns or something like that than Drake May did. They just beat Brock Purdy. for goodness sake.
Brock Purdy.
They ran through Brock Purdy and the Niners.
Before the game in the hotel lobby.
I mean, the question, should he scare them, or is it bad news for Seattle? No. And Drake is great and had, at one point I did have him number 1 on my MVP ballot. I got him number 2 over, at the end of the year. But he doesn't, it's very unlikely he throws for 300 yards and even 3 touchdowns.
Correct.
In his whole career, 30 regular season, I go 33 games, include the playoffs. One time he's thrown for 300 or more yards. Once.
Yep.
5 times he's thrown for 3 touchdowns or more in 33 games. So he's not, he can kill him with his accuracy. He can kill him with his legs. He can kill him by being clean. But the notion that he's going to go out there and just go for 360 and 4 touchdowns, I'm not saying he's not capable, but
it's not his game.
That's
right
scary. That's dangerous. So the way the question's worded, no, I don't think they should be shuddering or anything like that. Even if he plays his top game, it's generally going to be steady 2 touchdowns, 250 yards or whatever. So now that can win the game, but I don't think he's just going to totally annihilate their defense.
You want to go KW?
Look, I'm trying to be fair.
You don't need to be fair.
I'm trying to be fair.
Here's the thing.
Nick's not fair with the Chiefs. He's not fair with the Chiefs at all.
I am fair with the Chiefs.
He thinks he is. He's completely unfair with
With all due respect, Brew, you don't know what I've been going through. I got dressed down in my shared office.
Because
he pulled me aside, closed the door, sat down like he was my dad. But you know what it was? It was the first grandfather moment on the show. He's like, look, I've been in this take game for a long time. You're headed down the wrong path.
This is true, but that's because here's the thing, and I'll just do it here.
Here we go.
I told him.
You know this. You know you're C.J. Stroud right now. Just so you know, the lecture that led to the losing. I'm just saying that's where you're at.
But I have, God. Was the New Year's resolution be less humble?
Yes.
I have accomplished more in the take game than C.J. Stroud as NFL quarterback, so I can do this.
Fair. And he often gives good advice.
And it was simply that if you are leaning towards, just like you were for the AFC Championship game, which it didn't end up working out, but it kind of did because they won, Patriots comfortably. Right. My suggestion was have the analysis be more about the Patriots are better than you think, and less about the Seahawks are frauds because Wild doesn't actually think
I like
the
to throw
Seahawks
a little bit
frauds.
of frauds in there, though.
And so,
just a little.
So when I say I'm not asking, I'm saying you don't have to be fair. You do get to wear the hat of the entire media. The only person who saw the Patriots being in this game as a possibility months ago.
Yes.
So you have planted your flag on, you guys are still not yet properly rating how good my team is. That's what I was trying to encourage you to lean into.
That's what I'm shocked by.
Okay, so go ahead.
And I will try to be fair and not mention the fact that tonight, the MVP award will be decided by a handful of voters. Maybe it's Matthew Stafford. Maybe it's Drake May. We don't know. They're interchangeable. And one guy, for one game, put up almost 500 yards. But no one's got the Patriots scoring 28 points. I am surprised that really nobody has this take. And to the point that it's scared me off of it. The Patriots are going to play very well against the Seahawks defense. Drake May, who might be the MVP, is going to play very well against this team. And Matthew Stafford had his way. Matthew Stafford last game ran for 0 yards.
Well, of course.
Well, he ain't going to run for yards.
So you are playing somebody who maybe didn't quite have the year Matthew Stafford had, but certainly can run the ball.
Definitely.
Ran the ball a little bit less than Isaiah Pacheco. So imagine if you had Matthew Stafford and Isaiah Pacheco in one guy. Yeah. I think that guy would be dangerous. And I'm shocked by the recency bias on both sides. On half of the sides. Recency bias on half the sides. The Seahawks defense was eaten up by the Rams. And then everyone thinks, well, that won't happen again. Drake May, even the biggest Drake May Patriots skeptic, you have to say, was in Denver in a snowstorm and played poorly. And everyone's like, that's going to happen again. That will happen again. Well, he had a bad first half. He had a bad first half against the Chargers. Maybe it was nerves. Came out for the second half, threw for 173 yards and 142 passer rating. So games can go half this, half that. The Texans' defense was amazing. He dropped the ball a lot. Some of it was his. Some of it was Will Campbell. He did throw 3 touchdowns against the Texans. And I think right now people would be shocked if he threw 3 touchdowns against the Seahawks defense. I can keep going, but
keep going. Go ahead, whatever you
want.
The
other thing is this. If you were to design a team, like I think you got to start with a blank slate. Design a team that's going to beat the Seahawks. What does it look like?
So that's where, not this Patriots team.
Okay, can I pitch you something?
Yeah, sure.
I'd want them to have more experience than Mike McDonald in his second year. I'd want them to just be like, and Vrabel's been a head coach longer, and certainly Josh McDaniels versus that Mike McDonald defense. Yeah. I'm going to give the guy who's in the Super Bowl for the 9th time as a coordinator or on the staff. I'm going to give that to Josh.
The coaching experience, sure, no problem.
I'm going to also give a little bit of like chip on our shoulder. A little bit of.
I agree.
I would want to be the underdog in this team if you're going to beat this team, and I'd want a defense that is peaking at the right time against a quarterback who led the league in turnovers. So to me, that's why I got you. I shouldn't have led the. I sound a little whiny. Yeah. Against a quarterback who I looked it up.
When you whine.
Led the league in turnovers.
So let me.
That was good.
So the number one thing I would want if I were trying to beat the Seahawks is a better offensive line. So that's where because I think that is the Seahawks, not secret sauce, but it's no secret. One of the biggest strengths has been their ability to create pressure, not always sacks, but pressure and being able to drop 7 into coverage. Pressure with 4, and so a great offensive line can stymie that to a degree, and that's when the deep shots can be had against Seattle. But to kind of address each of your points, which are fair, but I just want you open to the counterpoint.
Yeah, I'm all ears.
You seem, when you talk about the weather, it seems to be presented as if the weather had a huge factor in Drake May's play, and the Patriots defense just kicked ass in perfect conditions. If you are making the argument that the weather played a massive factor in a significant in a significant portion of your playoff run, then whatever curve we are putting on Drake May's performance up, that same curve must apply to the Patriots' impeccable defensive run.
At the same time, counterpoint to your counterpoint, if I was going to race Usain Bolt and I got to choose I'll go a swamp.
Yeah.
I will just be like, you know what? He is much better than me.
Yeah,
but if we race in a swamp, it's going to be a lot closer.
Yeah.
So I think the weather takes the entire offense down.
Right. I understand.
Both sides.
Right.
So I'm not. Yes.
Right. So I'm saying, but it is what is tough for me is look at how dominant the Patriots defense has been on this playoff run, and not having the weather factor there.
I'll give you that.
But the sacks, which has been almost hard to explain how much better they've been with the pass rush. That you wouldn't just
of course, and I wouldn't, and I personally think the weather component in both. I think the defense has been awesome. Drake has struggled. I think the weather's been overblown because I think the Patriots for the first 10 quarters of this playoff run played in fine weather. I think the second half against Denver, it was a disaster, and you can throw that out the window. But I'm evaluating those 10 quarters really. I don't think it is. You are saying we are looking at Drake from one bad game and Darnold one great game. It's not how I'm looking at it. I think Drake, and we don't have to have the same argument we had yesterday, not only has struggled this postseason to the mark of historic drops from regular season to postseason, passer rating, second biggest in 30 years, completion percentage, biggest in the history of the league. And I understand he had a great passer rating and great completion percentage.
I mean, he led the league in both. That's why I feel like that's.
KW,
it's like a rich guy can lose the most money.
No, but you're right, which is why if I were just saying he has the biggest drop this year, then him leading the league in both would be more noteworthy. He didn't have the highest completion percentage in the history of the league. He didn't have the highest passer rating in the history of the league. But
his passer rating is 84 in the playoffs. That's not horrible.
No,
you know what I mean?
But it
you can live with that.
It is, to me, what is noteworthy is typically when teams have quarterbacks with great passer ratings and they win the championship, the quarterback played that level en route to the championship. Now, Peyton Manning didn't. You know what I mean? He's one of the other big drops, so that concerns me. The other piece of it is outside of the playoffs, and I showed this graph before, but I will show this again. The thing the Seahawks are most susceptible against to getting beat by, the deep passes. Drake has not been good at them for 3 months, and that's not about injury. And so it's just that is, those went from, and I'm not going to show the rankings one because I can just tell you, first across the board to 16th or 17th across the board. It's not that he's been terrible at them, but it went from huge strength to league average. So all of that then combined with this is the defense you're going up against when we show you Seattle's numbers, that part to me, without being disrespectful to the Patriots, that's concerning. Because I know you're big on the Texans are the best defense, and even if I just say fine, it's hard to argue this isn't the second best defense.
Very good defense.
And you're right, KW, that people all of a sudden it's like, oh, now you believe in Sam Darnold. I believe Sam Darnold will play better, if we're going to use the Texans example, than C.J. Stroud did. I believe the Seahawks will get more from their quarterback in their matchup against New England than the Texans got from theirs, which to me are all reasons why I think Seattle has the upper hand in this game.
One take, Chip, I would like to put on the roulette board for Monday, and you're going to think it's unfair, but that's why it's just on the take roulette board. Once Milton Williams and Christian Barmore start going right over the guards and getting to Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold starts freaking out, there will be a little bit of Sam Darnold going pumpkin mode.
Maybe.
All of a sudden, like C.J. Stroud, what are you going to do with C.J. Stroud? I think C.J. Stroud's downfall had a lot to do with the Patriots.
But I almost called you baby. Baby.
Again.
I'm going to call
Again.
I think you should rewatch that Texans first half and see how many of those C.J. Stroud throws were not pressured, not with Milton Williams bearing down, and it was C.J. Stroud short-circuiting. I'm not saying your guys can't be excellent, but it's just, I don't think I think you're remembering that game a little bit differently. That was some of that and some of CJ just throwing it on passes that weren't even picked, just throwing it. Where is he throwing it to? I don't think that's a duplicable thing because I don't know how much of that was purely forced by you guys.
Yeah. The only thing that I think is shocking is it's perhaps the MVP against the guy who led the league in turnovers this year, and people are more worried about the MVP because he dropped the ball a few times in cold weather, turning the ball over.
I would say this. I think Nick is more concerned about Drake. I don't know if that's the full, the players we've been talking to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think guys, when they're picking a blowout by Seattle, I don't think they're necessarily using that as a vote of confidence of Darnold over May. I think they're just looking at the two teams and feeling like Seattle's a lot better overall. I think Nick seems to have more confidence in Darnold than May. But I think that's just Nick. I don't think that's universal.
No, I agree with you in this regard, Brew. I think from the outside world, it's both these teams were 14-3. The story of the Patriots 14-3, right or wrong, was easiest schedule in 30 years. Mm-hmm. Story of Seahawks 14-3 was toughest division in the NFL, in recent history. In the postseason, Seattle dog walked its first opponent and then beat its second. Right. They're getting a lot of credit for how good people think the Rams are.
Very much so.
And so maybe they shouldn't, but that is
catapult.
Right. And then the Patriots, it's kind of ugly as wins, and then it's like, oh, Jared Stidham. So it's one had better rep going into the playoffs, and then strengthened their rep in the playoffs. That's I think what's happened.
During the regular season, this is according to Ben Solak, 14% of Seahawks drives ended in a turnover. 319 on trade deadline day. Giannis still in Milwaukee. Here's how the Bucks social media team responded. A yawn, bro.
Wow. I would have thought that they would have had, clapping emoji or something like that.
I thought the yawn was interesting. That's why I asked Dusty to pull it. Your reaction to Giannis not being traded?
Well, look, I would have loved to seen him have been traded to New York or to Golden State or to Minnesota. I would not have been excited about Miami. But if he had gone to any of those three, I just would have been excited because it would have been a great story. Minnesota would have been a legit championship contender. Golden State would have been exciting and, hey, two greats together. And then New York would have obviously been not only an Eastern Conference favorite, but a contender to win it all. But that said, Nick, I think Milwaukee's doing the right thing. I think they will get a better – now, I think they should trade him, but I think they'll get a better offer in the offseason. Like, two of the teams that could offer them the best thing, San Antonio and Houston, weren't even involved because they believe in their team and want to see how far they go this year. Now, if Houston, which is a possibility, gets beat in the first round or even the second round, which I think is darn near a certainty they get beat in the second round, they are win now with Kevin Durant. I know that they've got a bunch of young guys too, but maybe if they go out in the first or second round and they're really not close to winning the West, they say, okay, we got Durant. Maybe they'll be willing to give up Şengün and Reed Shepherd or Amin Thomas or whoever, to get Giannis and try to win now. San Antonio, if they're disappointing and they think they're close and they seem to be, but let's say they go out early. And maybe they're like, okay, we can give up a Dylan Harper, and some picks. And that all of that is better than anything that was being offered to Milwaukee in this trade deadline. So I think it's smart, Nick, for Milwaukee to wait. The deals will be there in the summer. And so I also think they should probably sit Giannis if he'll do it the rest of the year. Because for them, they want to get this draft pick to be as high as possible.
So you don't expect him, we're done.
I'm not saying they're going to do it, but I'm just saying I think that would be smart. He wants to play, but we'll see.
KW, what was your tweet?
This is why you demand a trade.
I agree.
Don't ask for a trade. Don't request a trade. Like, say what you will.
Try to soft pedal.
None of us, I don't think any of us, even people that have close relationships with Rich Paul, liked how Anthony Davis left New Orleans with a "that's all folks" shirt, and it just burned the bridge there. It just
was really bad.
Felt kind of ugly.
Right.
And then he was in the Lakers and he won a championship.
Exactly.
That's what it takes. And being Mr. Nice Guy feels like, this sounds mean, almost feels like the Bucks are taking advantage of his kindness.
No, you are right.
No, it feels
if he's upset, blame himself.
It feels like two people that are not getting divorced because of the kids, except the kids are 28 and 35 and don't really care. I think Bucks fans at this point are over it. They're like, you fight every Christmas. We know you sleep in separate rooms. Like, you don't have to keep the facade going. And I think they're just now, to your point, Brew, all at another team that certainly was not going to be involved right now, but maybe would be involved over the summer, who could offer a ton of stuff. And that's Oklahoma City.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They have a disappointment.
Right.
That's a good point.
We don't anticipate this happening, but if it's Rockets Thunder in round 2 and the Rockets beat them, and it's like, oh, man, this championship defense isn't quite as easy. Contracts are coming up. So the league opens up. The Lakers are deluding themselves into thinking they're going to have some way to get Giannis.
They'll have something more than they've got now, that's for sure.
I'll be honest, I don't know.
LeBron leaves.
LeBron leaves. I don't understand.
They will have cap room. I mean,
they'll
he won't
have cap
be a free
room, but
agent,
he was not a free agent. I don't totally understand the Lakers
trade, though.
Believing they're going to get Giannis.
But you agree that they weren't getting really good offers.
No, that's the. If you remember, when I created fake Giannis offers, none of them involved the Knicks, the Timberwolves, or the Warriors, because every time I was like, those offers suck. Milwaukee should never take them. The Knicks have no picks to offer. The Minnesota I couldn't figure out because of apron stuff, and it didn't make sense. And the Warriors I thought was just objectively bad. Right. The good offers were from Atlanta, San Antonio, or Houston, and your point is San Antonio and Houston are kind of like, no, we're not pushing all our chips in right now. So I don't blame them for not doing it now. I am annoyed's the wrong word. Disappointed as a basketball fan. That's just another wasted year for Giannis.
Done already.
And
this time before All-Star.
Right. And so it has been, man, it has been such a long time since he played in big playoff games. And that's a damn shame.
Yeah.
And
we walked into this year knowing it. That's what
Wiles is right, though. If Giannis is upset about it, then he has to
we have
look
breaking
in the mirror.
news, guys.
This is breaking news, which, you know,
are we there
we're
yet?
getting closer to 1 billion views according to Gianna and Gianna's analytics team. Where are we at, Gianna? Wow. A striking coincidence.
8, is it?
We are
5.
Uh-oh.
Here, Gianna.
Oh,
Gianna,
my.
Congratulations. You don't have to put your
Where's one of our
up for sale.
Yes.
$1 billion?
A
Yes.
billion. I have a script.
That means 1 in 8 people alive have watched the show.
Hey, we'll look at it that way. We'll take it that way.
That's what it means.
Luckily,
Yeah.
the higher-ups at Fox were able to utilize some of their Hollywood connections. And we got a thank you video from an actor, someone in Hollywood, who also may have been the 1 billionth
Does Nick know?
viewer. So take a listen.
You got me? You got me? All right, sorry. Look, I know most reporters are out there in San Francisco covering that football game, the Super Bowl, but that's not how Jackson Blade rolls. I'm a roving reporter. I go where other reporters dare not go. And no matter, I can't even tell you where I'm at right now. It's top secret. But no matter how dangerous the assignment is, I always find time to watch First Things First. Wow. And I was just happened to watch the Bud list from last week, and I saw that I am the 1 billionth viewer of First Things First on YouTube. So I am overjoyed, and I want to shout out my boys, Nick, Wiles, and that man Brew, smartest in the room. Job well done, gentlemen.
Wow. Well, thank you to Jackson Blade. Gianna.
Wow.
We got Jackson
How'd
Blade.
you get Jackson Blade?
That's pretty good, Gianna.
That's a serious
Jackson
hit.
Blade coming in.
Wow.
I haven't seen Jackson Blade in a while. He kind of fell off after Reality High.
Yeah, but look, that was the mountaintop. You do Reality High, and it's tough to go on from there.
Kids. They grow up so fast. One day they're taking their first steps, and the next, they don't fit into the tiny sneakers they took them in. You blink your eyes and their princess dress is 2 sizes too small, and their dinosaur backpack isn't cool anymore. But don't cry because they're growing up. Smile, because you can profit off of it. For real, there are a bunch of parents on Depop looking for the stuff your kid just grew out of. Download Depop to start selling.
Hey, first things first at Daytona. No news if we're going to get those suits. I will pay for those suits pre-tax out of my
I hope they can get that done. We would look great.
Pre-tax. What are you? You're such a weird guy, buddy.
401k.
No one's at first. I love KW. No one's actually gonna make him pay for anything, but just in case they do, he wants to be on the record. I'm only offering if it's pre-tax.
Pre-tax is part of the wardrobe thing.
If it's like how I pay for
off,
my.
Of course you can.
Because you can't wear it in your regular life. So
Yeah,
you can write it off.
I probably will wear it in my regular life. Over-unders, Super Bowl edition.
Wow.
First up, 1.5. We're at Drake May passing touchdowns. Nick, kick us off. You know how over-under works, gambling-wise?
Yeah, and again, the key here is passing touchdowns, because I might be over 1.5. In fact, I am over 1.5 for Drake May total touchdowns, because I think he will run one in, whether it's after a pass interference or on the 1-yard line QB sneak, or just a scramble, or even a design QB run, because Seahawks are susceptible against scramble. But I don't think he's going to throw multiple touchdowns. I don't think the Patriots are going to score 3 touchdowns in this game. And, I think they land around 17, 20 points. So I will take the under for Drake May on passing touchdowns, under 1.5.
I'm going to surprise you guys. I'm going over.
It's coming around.
I think Drake's going to play well. I think Seattle's vulnerable to the deep ball, and I think he's going to hit Kayshon Boutte for a deep touchdown.
That's one, though.
No, I know, but I think he'll have two. I think he'll have two.
Right.
I'm not saying three, but I think he'll have two.
I am in full agreement with Nick. I think he's going to have 2 touchdowns, but I think one will be passing and one will be running.
Coach,
Okay.
I have bad news for you.
What's that?
And I don't think you would have just said I'm in full agreement with Nick if you knew this. This is a scored segment.
I can't
KW?
score it. I can't
Why?
score it.
Wait, this is
I know-
scored?
See, I knew
It would have been a lot
I
more
was try-
gusto.
He
in
just
Coach's
said he
answer.
can't score.
I'm
He
not,
can't
I
score.
can't be objective.
Then
I will just keep
if
on.
If he was scoring, I'd be like,
Whoever
he's going to have
says
20
paper.
touchdowns.
Right. So I would have won that.
But you have, yes, Bruce.
No, you
Not
can't.
scored.
Who would have won it if
I
he hadn't
lean
scored?
towards Bruce analysis. All right, we're sticking with Drake May here. What's he going to do with his legs here? 38.5 rushing yards for Drake May over-under.
I love the over in this.
Me too.
Added bonus, you don't have to worry about getting screwed at the end for taking knees because Patriots aren't going to be taking knees. Listen, Seattle's the one spot on their defense where they are below average is quarterback scrambles. Yeah. In my opinion, the one spot this postseason Drake May's been really good is when he's run and he hasn't dropped the ball. I think that there is going to be pressure, significant pressure on Drake, and I think that tucking and running will not be a bad idea. Also, his injury is not a lower body injury where you think whatever the injury is going to limit him. That's a huge number for a quarterback that's not like considered a dual threat quarterback, but he's been over 50 yards in 2 of their playoff games. Sacks don't count against this total. It's not college football. So I'm going to say the over.
Yeah, I'm with you on the over. I think it would be smart. I mean, you don't want him running 15 times, but I think it would be smart for their game plan to be like, if he's really getting rushed, to take off and run. You know, just make sure you slide and all that stuff in a healthy way. But he's had his last 7 games, 4 of them, he's gone over 40 yards rushing, I think even over 45. And then 2 of his 3 playoff games, as you say, he's been 60 yards or more rushing. So I do think he's the over on this, and I think it would be smart of them to use his legs.
Yeah, we're all in agreement here, and I'm with Nick. I do think there's going to be a pressure element which will force him to run some, but I also think in the pressure of the moment, especially early in the game, and with young quarterbacks and with guys who can have answers with their feet, they tend to default to that, especially early, because they don't have the patience to really sit in the pocket. So I imagine him, especially in maybe the first quarter, taking off even sooner than probably he should.
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah, of course.
It's not one of the props we're doing, and I don't even know which bookmakers will offer this. But if I were Kevin Wildes, I would put a little taste on Drake May over receiving yards. The old Josh McDaniels. Well, it would be it's certainly at a half. You know what I mean? And then the question is where the juice is on it. But it would be heavy juice on the under. You'd get plus money on will he have a receiving yard, but a little trick play.
Do they have prop bets
situation.
on someone else throwing a pass?
Well, my favorite. Listen, again, I don't want to derail the segment.
No, go for it.
Every year, my favorite bet for the Super Bowl. It's not always profitable, but it's most fun bet to make. Over 2.5 people to throw a pass. That's plus 160. So both quarterbacks throw. It can be either an injury is a bad reason for that to hit, but any type of fake punt or trick play, a third person throwing the pass. Ooh. Yeah, plus
Josh
160.
Dobbs will probably be in at the end of the game, too. Just let Drake relax, have some Gatorade. Switch to Seattle. Over, under 0.5 interceptions for Sam Darnold, who did lead the league in turnovers this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the great, I shouldn't say Cinderella story, but kind of, comeback story, whatever you want to call it. But I am going over, and I think he throws one. I don't think he melts down. I don't think it's 2-3 bad interceptions. But he's due. We believe in due dates on this side of the table.
Yep.
Hasn't thrown an interception his last 3 games. I think he throws one. I think the Patriots going to be able to scheme something up that confuses him a bit, and I think he has 1 interception.
Man, I am so glad this isn't scored because I agree with you 100%.
Love it.
He's been clean throughout the playoffs. I think he's due, and I do think the Patriots are going to do enough things to force him to make post-snap decisions, and one of those is not going to be a very good one. At least one.
See, that's the thing. They compile.
Yeah,
At least.
He gets one. They're like pizza.
But we also did
It's hard
see
to stop.
one of the best moments of his season was a game against the Rams when he had just come off a game where he threw 4 picks against them, threw 2 picks early against them, and then rallied at the end, so it didn't ruin him. But this will be a clean sweep on this. I don't think either quarterback plays a clean game in this one. I think both teams can sustain a turnover by their quarterback. It's the multiple. I think they both. I think Darnold throws a pick, and for May, I don't know if it'd be more likely to be a strip sack or a pick, but I agree with you guys. I think Darnold will throw a pick in this game. And the betting public does too. It's minus 140 on yes, there being an interception.
I could see 2 coming. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I could see 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could.
I could see several. Over under. This is a big number from JSN. 94.5 receiving yards. Coach, you want to start here?
Yeah, I'm going with the under on this. And when you look over the last 5 Super Bowls, Devontae Smith had 100 yards, T. Higgins had 100 yards, and both those guys were the number 2 receivers. And I think that tends to happen in these games where the number 1 gets the bulk of the coverage, so that opens up some opportunities for the second guy. But I don't think they're necessarily going to contain him to a small number. I just think it'll be less than, 94.5.
Yeah, I'm with Coach. I could see Cooper Kupp having a big game for the reasons you said. I just think they're going to be like, JSN is not beating us. And I think they'll be focused on him, and I think they'll keep him under.
So I'm going to say over. And here's part of my rationale. I find it interesting that everyone seems to acknowledge Bill Belichick was one of, if not the greatest defensive mind ever. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of the analysis on Mike Vrabel's ability to take away JSN, to my ear, has been, well, he'll just do what Belichick did. I don't think it was quite as simple as, hey, I think there was more defensive schematic brilliance than just, hey, double one guy, put your number 1 corner on the other guy. I think there was more to it. And as great as Vrabel is, I think maybe Belichick made something look easy that was not always easy. And and you tell me if you think this is valid or not. I think there's something you learn from Belichick and you and the great coaches on the Patriots being a player for them that is not necessarily the exact same thing as you learn being a coach on the staff. I'm not saying Vrabel didn't take anything from his time with Belichick at all, but he's not part of the tree. He left there and then coached in a bunch of other places. So I don't know. I mean, tell me if you think I'm off base there. It's just not the same as things you or Romeo or anybody else would have learned coaching under him.
Well, I'd say there's some truth to that, although Mike was a different type of player than a lot of players in terms of his ability to not just recall scheme, but to recall like very specific thing from games, deep in the past, which always really impressed me about him, and game plan specific stuff. So I do think he's different than some other guys that I've coached. And look, double teaming a single player is not as easy as, just, hey, we're going to take him away, because they're allowed to move that guy around. They're allowed to motion him. They're allowed to put him in bunches. They can put him in the backfield. There's a lot of spots, and every time you double him, you've got to figure out how you're going to double him and how you're going to deal with them. And those things take reps, and you can't really do it every single play because there's some other stuff that you want to get to, and there'll be opportunities on blitzes and things like that where you can't double them. So it's whether or not the key is to give the illusion that you're doubling him when you aren't doubling him, and then ideally give the illusion that he's singled up when you are doubling him.
So what I'm afraid of with JSN, it happened in the Rams game, both things. We showed like the one-handed catch. So this guy will just make insane, great catches when he's covered. And then there's a play that he catches for a touchdown where the coverage is just blown and the Rams turn around like, I thought you had who had JSN?
Well, I think that last
That's what
thing
I'm
you
worried
said
about.
is a concern of, if you tell me if I'm wrong again, if you switch what you normally do to account for this singular great player, that's when you're more likely to make mistakes and have busts, because guys are thinking rather than reacting.
Well, yeah, look, anytime now this won't be the first time they've doubled a player, but in doubling it, you've got to rep it a lot of different ways because of the combination of defensive backs that can be in the mix. And then, again, doubling them outside is different than doubling them inside. And then if they put him in the backfield, then that's a problem. When they motion him over or when he's with another wide receiver, now you've got 3 defensive backs that have to communicate out. And when you get to a bunch, it's 4. There's a lot of ways that you can then put pressure back on the defense to free a really good player up. And you know, some offenses really lean into it in the sense that they leave their guy in the same spot every time. Those are the best situations because you always know where he is, and it's like, okay, we can easily rep that. But Seattle will be more creative than that, I think.
I don't think if he gets under 94.5, it's a JSN issue. I think it'll be a Sam Darnold pressure issue.
Maybe.
I think he's pretty much unstoppable, but getting to Sam Darnold, poltergeist time. All right, final over-under. This guy is going to be so sweaty and so locked in 20 minutes before the game starts. You won't believe it. Over-under, Brew, 45.5 yards for Stephon Diggs in his first Super Bowl.
This was maybe the toughest one for me. I don't think he'll have a huge day as far as yards, but I do think he will step up. I think he's been a leader for that team. Yep. This is his chance on the big stage, and I think he's going to show up. So got him going over.
It's interesting because in the regular season he was at almost 60 yards per game, and the postseason he's only been at 24.3 yards per game. It feels like the odds maker just threw it in the middle, like he's going to be somewhere between his regular season and postseason number. But I do think he's going to end up finding a way to get over 45.6. It doesn't seem like that daunting a number for Diggs.
This is, I would not recommend making this parlay, kids.
I love this.
But I think he's going to hit his over in receptions and his under in yards.
He doesn't get a lot of yak.
Right, and I think he will be kind of Keenan Allen Chargers this year type of role, which is big plays, big third downs, a very important 8-yard catch type of thing. But I don't, especially with the emergence of Booty, I don't think Matt Collins is going to have a huge role, but you like Pop Douglas. I
think Matt Collins is going to be really good, actually.
Okay, so I think you could see a 6-catch for 38-yard game from Stephon Diggs. So I would go under here.
Just also on the board, and again, I'm Mr. Optimist. To Brew's point, against the Bills, he's like, just feed me the ball. I will catch everything. Right. This is my moment. It's on the board that he just goes crazy. Maxx Crosby reportedly wants to move on from the Raiders. Diana Rossini says he wants to play for Mike Vrabel. Well, who doesn't? We're playing on Sunday in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Here's what Jay Glazer added. Take a listen.
Do you think his time with the Raiders is done?
I do.
What kind of haul do you think, realistically, a Maxx Crosby gets in general?
He, probably more than Micah. So the day it happened, no less than 20 teams called me.
Do you think his time with the Raiders is done because that's a Raiders decision or because that's a Maxx Crosby decision?
They didn't want to do it. But he was just like, I'm not going through another rebuild.
Fair. Who should reach out and try to grab Maxx Crosby?
I got 3 teams.
Love it.
I'd love to see him in Baltimore. I mean, they were bottom 3, I think, in sacks. So he would be perfect to jumpstart, get them back to that defensive football. Jacksonville, another really good team that didn't have much of a pass rush. I'm going to all those types of teams. And then Buffalo. Now, I can't speak to the package they put together and all that, and maybe they can't do what Glazer was saying. But Baltimore, Buffalo, Jacksonville, I think they'd be very interested in trying to get him.
Yeah, I tried to look at it from the perspective of, okay, if you do have to give that type of compensation, who has extra number ones? And so that's one component of it. And then you got to look at the money. And the guys that have extra, Jets have an extra one, and they've got a ton of money.
Yeah.
But the problem is he doesn't want to go through a rebuild, and they're a rebuild. We always talk about Cincinnati and the problems they have. You know,
the Rams have an extra one.
The Rams have an extra one. They're about middle of the pack in terms of a cap. That could be a really interesting place. I mean, I would personally like to see him in Cleveland.
Really?
Yeah, put him with Myles Garrett. They have an extra number one. Not great salary cap wise, but
The Bengals and the Browns combining teams is unbelievable.
Right. The Browns defense would be phenomenal.
Think about Myles Garrett and Maxx Crosby.
Oh, it'd be crazy.
You're going to
I'm
have a lot of
interested in
problems.
that. That's great.
And by the way, the Browns had the opportunity in last year's draft to do a version of that, stay at 2 and draft Abdul Carter. That was the discussion, to pair him with Myles. They obviously traded out of it, got the extra pick, and Travis went number 2 instead. But if Jay is correct, Wild's going to hate this, that it's going to take more than the Micah Parsons deal, then the answer is no one.
And the money
because there just aren't non-quarterbacks that really make that worth it. Multiple firsts and something and record-breaking contract is just, here's recently the players who have gone for that. Khalil Mack was unbelievable with the Bears. They regretted it. Laramie Tunsil, was really, really good. They regretted it. Jalen Ramsey, it worked. They you know what I mean? They kept going on and they kept trading stuff. They ended up trading him. They won the Super Bowl. Jamal Adams was a disaster. And Sauce Gardner, we'll see, Micah, we'll see. The argument some would make is, but you saw the impact Micah makes. And then you saw how risky it is to put that much resource into one player because it's pro football and guys get hurt. So
and it's always a problem when it's multiple first-round draft picks plus cash.
That's what I'm saying. It's the most expensive way to get a player.
Terrible.
First-round picks are one of the reasons everybody needs to understand the value of first-round pick is not just, this exciting young player who may or may not be good. It's that if he's good, he's free compared to a great player at that position. Like, whenever a deal like this comes up, I try to ask myself, honestly, would I want the Chiefs to do it? And my answer is no. And so they are as close to winning as you could, I would hope. I know they had a bad year, but if you told me they were trading 2 1s and a 3 for the privilege of paying him $40 million a year, it just wouldn't. I don't think that's good business.
And are you going to have to redo the contract when he gets there too? Does it become even more expensive?
Well, that's what I mean. I think that's how he would get to $40 million a year. Is it
he has 2 years left, I believe, in the current deal.
Coming up next, the most motivational segment in all of sports. It's the Bud List.
Pure motivation.
Oh, good.
Only quarterbacks are worth
that. I don't know if I can.
I wouldn't do it for a game.
Yeah, live from New York.
What are you talking about?
Well,
I would wear it somewhere,
what
but
sport
not to a game.
are you
basketball.
No,
No.
nobody, no grown man is wearing
Well, shout out to J-Mac, Jason McIntyre. He did wear a Lakers jersey, guns out to a Lakers game. It was terrible. J-Mac, that was ridiculous. Don't do that.
How do I show my support for Jose Alvarado? Spike Lee has that cool Jalen Brunson
I'll
vest.
give you this. Here's what I'll give you.
Jose Alvarado.
Wear your Jose Alvarado Knicks jersey, like under a jacket or something. How about that?
But then what if
they'll see the front? You can't wear a grown man. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you. That's what I said, and then you interrupted me to defend J-Mac and then insulted him.
Jose Alvarado. How about a sign? I believe in you,
Get
Jose
a
Alvarado.
jersey.
Sign?
A sign that says Jose Alvarado. I believe in you.
Get a
I got the
kids hold
perfect
it up.
answer.
Go.
Take your son, one of your sons or both, and have them wear it.
Yeah, wear the jersey and hold
I'm
the
gonna do
sign.
that.
Yep, let them wear it.
And then
hold the sign.
and then point to him.
Yeah. Jose.
They love you.
KW, though, might want to do the J-Mac thing because KW, much likeJ-Mac, sneaky jacked.
Really?
Oh.
Sneaky jacked.
It wasn't a good look for
that guy
J-Mac.
off my crease.
I don't care how
You
jacked
did?
you are.
Yeah, a lot of
Would you
water
get on
retention.
magnesium now or something?
that's
you weirdo?
Second hour, first things first. Today is Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. The number one advantage the Patriots have. Do you know that Matt Collins said he hasn't eaten a vegetable in 4 years?
Matt Collins.
Really?
Weirder than you.
Doesn't wear shoes either.
Yeah.
Right. Had more than shoes in 4 years.
He's going to play great, though. Meanwhile, Justin Jefferson joins the show to talk about the catch of the year. We
Are
discussed.
these them or are these
let
some
this
others?
roll for a minute because I think if we let it roll long enough, we'll get to Brew's favorite catch. I think Brew's favorite catch is after this. Wait
kid?
for it.
Yes.
Hold on, wait for it. There it is. Here it is.
nice.
Bruce's favorite.
That might be the catch.
I mean,
of
it's
the
a
year.
great, it's a
That is
Nerf
a great
ball.
catch.
I mean,
Not a
it's a great
Nerf ball.
catch.
Justin Jefferson wants to play flag football in the Olympics, so once you
Yeah.
start dissing flag football, you're dissing Justin Jefferson.
Exactly.
Now it's time for the most motivational segment in all sports. Also, thank you to Christina for going to the post office today.
Oh, that's nice.
And she's got a message from the Postmaster General said, and the Postmaster General said, "Go Patriots."
Is that true?
Yes.
I mean, you know.
Dear Wilds, love the show and the Door of Destiny. Wow, thank you. I can't believe you guys got Jackson Blade on the show as your 1 billionth viewer. Wow, go Patriots.
That's
Ryan and Brian. Yes, we did get Jackson Blade on,
I'm
who was
shocked,
the 1
Jackson.
billionth viewer. He's watching last
Yeah, I
week's
was gonna
episode
say,
of
the
the
Bud
Bud
List
List.
is behind all
And
the
shout out to Gianna, Josh, Nicolette, and Michael, who are all part of our YouTube team, to give us 1 billion viewers. So thank you very much. 1 billion views.
No, viewers.
No.
1 in 8 living people has watched the show.
Well, thank you for all your support. We
It
will
only
see
counts you once. So if we had 1 billion views, it just, one for
I love the sound of that, Nick. All right, let's get to it. Number 3, we're going NBA.
Oh, good.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Wow.
All right, now look, Kat, you weren't traded, obviously. And I get it. You're upset, you're bothered that your name was in trade rumors. And that the Knicks honestly considered trading you for Giannis Antetokounmpo. But here's the thing. The way to react to this is not to mope and let it affect your play. You get all in your feelings. The way to react is to use it as fuel and to help the New York Knicks get to the finals. Would it be the first time since 99, right? Yeah. To the finals and win the championship for the first time in 53 years. If you do that, Kat, you would be and I get it, you'd be the second guy to Jalen Brunson, but you still are a legitimate star. You'd be 20-10 there and abouts. You would be a New York legend, probably a Hall of Famer, and I think that might take your name out of trade rumors even, because it would be so huge getting the Knicks a championship. So that's how you should look at it. And look, you got to play better though. Last night, you were really good. 24 points, 12 rebounds against Denver in a great win over Jokic and the Nuggets. But recently, you struggled, and this is where I'm talking about. I think you've let it get to you, and you've been moping. You haven't played great basketball because you're in your feelings. Last 16 games before last night, 15.8 points a game on 43% shooting. That's not you. All right, so snap out of it. You didn't get traded, and help the Knicks at the very least win the East and reach the finals, and then take your chances. You guys have beaten, didn't they beat Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
No, they beat San Antonio, I know. They beat Denver, and I can't remember whether or not you beat OKC, but you'd have a shot in the finals. It's just one series. So, Kat, I believe it.
Oh, good.
All right, at number 2, sticking with the NBA, James Harden.
Oh, boy.
All right. I'm excited about Cleveland. I'm still trying to chase my first championship and do whatever it takes to win. That's you, James, to Ramona Shelburne of ESPN after you were traded from the Clippers to the Cavaliers. Here's the problem. Nobody believes you. Nobody. I mean, nobody believes you. All right? And look, maybe you're telling the truth. Maybe it wasn't all about money. Maybe you just wanted to trade in the sunshine of your hometown, Los Angeles, for the snow and dreariness. And I love Cleveland. I'm from there. And Coach knows it's dreary there. And it snows there. Maybe you wanted that instead of the beaches in LA. I don't know. But
He's never been a big nightlife guy either.
Yeah, a little more nightlife in LA than Cleveland. But here's the deal. Whatever your feelings are about this, you have a chance to clean up your image and you rewrite what now is your legacy. Now, I would say this, 20, 25 years from now, you probably will just be remembered as a phenomenal player who didn't win a championship, but you were awesome. But right now, your playoff failures are infringing on your image is just a phenomenal all-time great player. But this year, you have a chance to right that. And again, you don't have to be the first option. It's Donovan Mitchell, maybe not even the second. But if you can play as well in these playoffs as you have this regular season, 25 points, 8 assists, and get Cleveland to the finals, you wouldn't necessarily even have to win it, but get them there. You could change your whole, I think, go a long way in changing your postseason reputation. If you show up in the big games, play really well, and win the East. And I think, Nick, if Harden plays well, like just plays how he does in the regular season in the playoffs, they could win the East.
Yeah.
They'd have a great shot at winning the East. And then again, take your chances in the final. So, James, good luck.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right, at number 1, going to the NFL Super Bowl, baby.
Wow.
Sam Darnold, Drake May. Now here, guys, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford. Or Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff, Matt Ryan. There's a big difference. One of you could be in that first category with Mahomes and Brady, and one of you will be in the bottom category with Garoppolo and Goff and Purdy and the like. It's not the same. Like, it's great that you both have gotten to the Super Bowl, but a lot of quarterbacks get to the Super Bowl. We remember the ones that win.
Did you say Joe Burrow on there?
I mean, I didn't name every losing quarterback.
Just recent guys who
Joe Burrow. Okay, Joe Burrow.
He's pretty good. It means riding off that.
Hey, can Brew do this?
I was just wondering.
This is not the time.
I was just wondering.
Drake May does not want to be in the category of Joe.
Brew,
I mean, he wants to win the Super Bowl.
If we're jumping in, and then I'll let Brew finish. That's the first sign of Wild's nervousness.
Yeah, it is.
That he wanted to make it clear. Hey, great quarterbacks are 0-1 in Super Bowls too.
Yeah, because I believe in Sam Darnold.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
You know what, Wilds? Check mark for the Seahawks.
All
right, I'm still keeping score. All right, because Burrow hadn't been in the playoffs, what, 3 years?
3 years in a row.
I mean, so there is no guarantee you're getting back. It is hard to get back. In fact, this century, only 3 quarterbacks have gone back-to-back in Super Bowl. Some have gotten back, but Mahomes, Brady, and Russell Wilson. So you cannot go to this game and feel like, especially if you're Drake May, I'm young. I got plenty of these to come to. I want to win, but if I don't, I'll be back. You never know. All right, so you guys, this is I want you to take this serious because one of you is legend too much. If Drake May wins this Super Bowl, I mean, now we'll see what you do the rest of your career.
Seems like a lot.
But that would be a lot. Second year.
It'd be a legendary start.
Yes, and you would be on a Hall of Fame trajectory already. Sam Darnold, you win this game, I'm not going to say legend, but, who knows what the rest of, even if you struggled the rest of your career, this would be fantastic.
Yeah.
A comeback story. You win the Super Bowl. Rich Gannon. You'd be like the new Rich Gannon at the very least.
Except
although
Rich
Gannon didn't win
lost
it.
The Super Bowl.
Gannon didn't win it, so you'd even be better than Rich Gannon. All right, so the new Jim Plunkett, at least. All right, both of you guys, have good games. I'm not tipping my hat who I'm picking tomorrow. But both of you go out there and play your best.
Brew, this is always one of my favorite segments, but I do have a few bones to pick.
Oh, my.
Goodness.
Oh, my.
I don't love 2 basketball players the week of the Super Bowl.
You know what?
I mean, we got 6 months.
It's trade deadline day, Coach.
Before the next NFL game, real game, and we got James Harden and and then you kill Cleveland.
Yeah.
You're from there. Those are your people.
I know, but it's true.
And then you put the winning quarterback of this game in the Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady category.
They're more in the Jalen Hurts part.
But it's still a great segment. Don't get me wrong. Those are the only bones I had to pick. And here's my one real concern for the New England Patriots, and that's the Patriots' offensive line. And we've talked about them a lot this season, and I'm going to put them on the bud list. And it starts with Will Campbell. You get drafted 4th overall. There's high expectations. We're now as deep into the season as you can possibly get, so there should be a significant amount of progress. And then they have another rookie at left guard, and they got him in the 3rd round. They're trying to solve those O-line problems with Jared Wilson. I don't love the fact that Will Campbell has talked about he's struggled even when they've given him help, and sometimes that's been the worst case scenario. That I don't like that. And now the strength of Seattle is their defensive line, and we've seen in Super Bowls what derails a team more than anything. It's a dominant defensive line performance. So I have a lot of concerns about that, and the numbers are a little bit staggering too. So my thought process with Drake May all through the year is got to get the sacks down. His first year he's about 8.5%. During this season, this season was like 9 something, so it didn't quite go the way he wanted to. But in the playoffs, it's 16.3%.
Ouch.
And in the playoffs, going into the Super Bowl, there's only been one person worse, which was Roger Staubach, who has a higher sack percentage going into a Super Bowl. He had 16.4% in 1971. So we're at 16.3%, the second most highly sacked quarterback going into a Super Bowl. So that's my struggle. Now, that being said, I think you're going to get a lot of help from Josh McDaniels. I think you're going to get a lot of opportunities where they'll run the ball to take some pressure off you guys. You got to take advantage of that. They're going to throw quick screens. They're going to throw it quick. Just settle in. If you give up one sack, settle. You just don't let it steamroll and give Drake May a chance to be an MVP.
Wow.
Fair.
Yeah. Definitely Seahawks.
Very, very fair.
It's like 17-4 Seahawks.
The 16.3 number is...
It's a big number.
Yeah. It's the second biggest number in history.
Yeah. Sorry, Kato.
Fair concern. Not worried. It's 4:14 on a Thursday, which means you're all in for a real treat. It's time for the Sports Media Ombudsman. Lots of ombuds, to be honest with you.
Indeed. But I don't think you guys are going to see this one coming. We in the sports media need to take some accountability for the Giannis Antetokounmpo saga.
Oh, wow.
Some of this is on us. So I would like to take you guys back almost 3 years ago to 2023, April, after a very disappointing gentleman's sweep in the first round at the hands of the Miami Heat. When Eric, I think it's Neim, I apologize, the writer for The Athletic, covers the Bucks, asked Giannis whether or not that season and a first-round playoff exit was a failure.
Yeah.
To which Giannis said this.
You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay, do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal. There's always steps to it. You know, Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure? That's what you're telling me? No, I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? Okay, exactly. So why you asking me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports.
And then everyone in the media heard Giannis, after being a big favorite and losing in round 1 to the Miami Heat, saying, turns out sports shouldn't even be keeping score. There's no failure. And everybody decided, almost universally, you know what? Let's zag here. Good job, Giannis.
Kinda like it.
We like it. That's a hell of an outlook. When what we should have done has been like, Giannis, we love you, but of course you guys failed. You were one of the favorites to win the title. You lost in round 1, but we didn't. So how does that apply today? Had we done it then, guess what Giannis would have learned? Who cares if I get criticized? They move on to the next thing. I don't have to always be beloved at every moment for everything, but we didn't. To be honest, we've never really criticized him because everybody likes him. Right. And now he's paralyzed by that by the fact that I don't want people to be mad at me, I don't want fans to be mad at me, I don't want the media to criticize me, I don't want to be the bad guy. When everybody knows, you got to occasionally be the bad guy. You got to walk into the Bucks office and to Wilds' point, be like, hey, I demand a trade.
Now.
This isn't going to work.
Pick up the phone right now. Right now.
Exactly.
I'm going to the Warriors. I have a Warriors jersey I made on NBA.com. So I'm going to go there and play on Thursday. You guys figure it out because I'm getting on a flight myself.
Thank you, KW. But he didn't. And I feel like he might have been more likely if he'd been like, listen, I've been loved, I've been hated, I've been this, I've been that. It's all the same to me. But we let that slide. And by the way, in sports, if there's, it's no losses, just lessons. It's been a lot of lessons in Milwaukee since that press conference.
Oh, man.
So, and there's going to be a lot more coming up, and no big moments for Giannis.
Well, look, two of the best players of this generation, LeBron was obviously heavily criticized, and Durant heavily criticized. Now, I think LeBron would have ended up winning somewhere, but let's say he did. Look at the difference in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Durant. I'm not sure Durant would have won anywhere else. But the fact that he got those two championships, even if people said it was a stacked team, it's not even close, those two championships have completely changed his legacy.
That's right.
And so now Giannis does have one.
You're right. He's not ringless, but we want him to play in big games.
I'm going back to the Super Bowl. I'm putting Cooper Kupp on the Bud list. Coach, as you know, since I'm a Patriots fan, trick plays really grind my gears. Okay? Cooper Kupp, I dare you. I've been scouting. I feel like I'm on the team sometimes. I got to read all the stats, look at all the Instagrams, look at all the tweets. Patriots didn't see the Philly special coming. Ends up losing the game for us. A lot of plays. But the Philly special lost the game. Now they got a statue outside of Philadelphia for one sneaky play that we didn't see coming. To the point that Josh McDaniels, in my mind, said, gosh darn it, I'm going to throw a pass. He didn't throw it, but to Tom Brady didn't catch it. Now, Cooper Kupp's Instagram.
That was in the game with the Philly special, right? That's the same Super Bowl.
Might have been before.
Yes.
That's the same Super Bowl.
Yes.
No, it was after, but it was in, so he saw it as halftime. He's like, I got to draw this sucker up.
But don't let the facts get
Oh my.
Look at this. What's going on here? Throwing it to your buddy doesn't look like it. Looks like I've thrown the football before. I'm never on the run. That looks like he's rolling out and looking for somebody down there on the goal line, or maybe that's
It's a risky place to run that play.
Backed up.
I dare you, Kubiak, I dare you to throw it. I dare you to run it. They did try it once against the Texans. Guess what? Picked. So keep practicing. Kubiak, let's see. You know what? Everyone's talking about Mike McDonald. Oh, it's the defense wins championships. That's what everybody says now. Ka-ching to my pocket. I've got the
Copyright.
I'm making money off of it. That being said, I dare you to throw it. We're ready for it. I dare you to throw it.
Stop
Do it again.
protest too much, buddy. You're getting scared now. You've gone from overconfident to a little like, hey, why is everyone I talk to picking Seattle? That's weird. To now scared.
Told you it's like Bitcoin.
What? When did you tell
The whole
me?
world is on it. The whole world. Yeah. It's just me, like, I don't see it.
Bitcoin's crashing right now.
Yeah.
Super Bowl's on Sunday. Coming up next, Justin Jefferson in a little while. And what coaching edge do the Patriots have just because they've been collectively in, 10 Super Bowls?
Every sip of Coca-Cola brings you closer to the excitement of the FIFA World Cup 26. Because nothing compares to the joy. So grab a Coke and drink in the FIFA World Cup 26. No purchase necessary. 13 plus in 50 U.S. states and D.C. with a web-enabled device. Ends March 1st with 8 entry periods. Rules at cokeurl.com/soccer rules.
How could you not feel like this is it?
Dynasty on deck.
Because practice does, in fact, make perfect.
I've been waiting for this moment in front of the whole world.
That was great TV.
This is what we do. That's really well done. I don't feel comfortable with any of it.
This felt like a little self-control.
That's what I think. We needed a Gianna and social team sizzle reel there. They did all the work.
Yes, that was excellent. We're at 1 billion views. How far are we behind Mr. Beast? Because I kept on talking about Mr. Beast.
He's on the downtick.
Hubs just told me 108 billion behind. Is that true?
No, I'm not.
We have to stay late. Everyone's staying late. If we're 108 billion behind.
108 billion?
We got
What's the bonus that Gianna gets?
Gee whiz.
Well, it's keep her job.
She was on her way out.
That's not a bonus.
She was on her way out.
It should be reward if there's risk.
Friend of the show, Bill Barnwell, wrote an opus on this Super Bowl, and he said one decided advantage that the Patriots have, coaching. Literally. If there's one place the Patriots have a decided advantage, it's in game management. Oh, you like this is right up your alley, Nick. McDonald has been better as the season has gone along, but he had a markedly conservative streak during the regular season.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, Mike Vrabel's a genius.
Correct.
My words, not Barnwell's.
No, it might have been Barnwell's words. I don't know that any show, including shows on his own network, do more topics based off Barnwell articles than us, so I feel like I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah,
He's a great friend of the show. Yeah. Bill, this article is too long, bro. This is 14,986 words. It was 47 pages in a Google Doc. That is true. Bill really went deep on the Super Bowl. It was a small novel on the Super Bowl. And so credit to him. It's why if I ever owned an NFL team, he'd be my president of football operations. With that said, I totally agree with him. Okay. I would have thought their biggest edge. Oh, you want to check?
I'll give you. Okay, I'll give you that.
Going into the playoffs,
17-5 now.
Yes. If you had told me this was going to be the matchup, I would have said the biggest edge for the Pats is quarterback play. I don't right now feel like that is their biggest edge because Sam is coming off such a great game. I know it's just one game. And Drake, I think, has struggled in the postseason. But Mike Vrabel being damn near perfect on, forget fourth down stuff, because a lot of people are getting better at that. Damn near perfect on knowing the rule book, which I think it's unfathomable to me. So many coaches seem not to, but he is so good at knowing how far he can exploit whatever little edges are allowed to him that I do think he is in a class by himself amongst coaches. And I thought this way when he was in Tennessee. And so this is the spot that I think the Patriots, and I think Mike McDonald's good, but I think that the spot they have the biggest edge in this game, Coach.
Yeah, I don't think it's just game management. I think it's also going to be the preparation for the game. I think when you look at the fact that this is Josh's ninth Super Bowl, it's over half a season worth of games where he's coaching the Super Bowl. So he has all that experience of things that went well, things that went poorly, leading up to it. So that's a huge edge for Drake May, and really a huge edge for the entire group. And then Vrabel has his Super Bowl experience as well. They also have two former head coaches on the staff. They have Ben McAdoo, who actually works on the other side of the ball, so he's working with the defensive staff. So giving him that perspective, which is something that I had done in San Francisco with Jim Harbaugh, is work with the offensive staff. And the value you hope to bring is a true look at what the other side is trying to achieve. So I really like the fact that Mike was able to do that and was willing to do that. And then Doug Marrone is another former head coach. So you have that value as well collectively with the staff. I looked at Seattle staff, and they've got a lot of guys. They've got 30 coaches, so it's better than Harvard or Yale in terms of student-teacher ratio, but not a lot of former head coaches. I think Leslie Frazier is the only former head coach on the staff. And Leslie's a wonderful guy, but just from collectively the experience of the staff in general, the Super Bowl preparation experience, we talked about the game management component, there's definitely, in my mind, a significant edge for New England.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it's an advantage. I don't think it's huge because I think McDonald is really good. I mean, obviously, what he's done with this team. But I do think it's an advantage, and I think it's their most significant advantage because, honestly, Wilds, I don't see many or any other advantages. Now, I do think Drake's a better quarterback, but the way the postseason and Darnold has played,
come on.
I mean, he's a better quarterback overall, but Darnold's been really good in the playoffs. And Drake has, even though I think he's been better than Nick, I can't say he's played great. So I just think, I can't, what advantage would I point to other than the coaching staff for New England right now?
I mean, Sam Darnold did just play division games. I mean, it's just like another division.
But still, he played a great team, and he did great.
Third time. for the third time.
So what about this? What about this?
What advantage would you give?
Well, I think coach, quarterback, defense, and special teams. But I know I'm.
You think defense? You think the Patriots' defense is better than Seattle's?
Well,
I don't think
let's use your rationale. Sam Darnold played a great game against the Rams.
Right.
And the Rams defense gave up a bunch of points. The Patriots defense have given up no points all playoffs. But I still have to genuflect to the Seahawks defense.
Well, they faced Jarrett Stidham, C.J. Stroud, who I give y'all some credit, but he also imploded. And then Justin Herbert, who has yet to play a good playoff game.
Okay, okay. So maybe
and
they
faced Matthew Stafford, who threw 45 touchdowns this year.
Okay, I think that's perhaps you guys are right.
I
think 3 dominant defensive performances for a team that is peaking, led by the guy who could have been Super Bowl MVP last year and wrecked the Super Bowl last year against Patrick Mahomes, who is not in Sam Darnold's league. Yeah, I think the Patriots have the better defense. And I know they have the better quarterback. We all agree we have the better coaching. We have the guy who has the best punt return average rate. We blocked a kick in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think we have better coach, quarterback, defense, and special teams.
Okay, can I address each of those? I don't know if
sure. I don't think we have the best wide receiver.
So special teams, I think, is a shaky one because you don't have the better kicker. I don't even think you have the better kicker. The rookie Borregales is not better than Jason Myers. You're right that you have an all-pro returner. Shaheed is, to me, as good of a returner. Yes. It was weird for him. He's traded mid-season as far as, that. So I think it is very different. You certainly don't have, we're going to really get into it, the better punter. So I think special teams is a very hard case to make. So that's the first bucket of it. The coaching, I do give the edge to the Patriots, but again, I don't think the Seahawks have a deficit at it. Just like I think your analysis of Seattle's defense is wildly unfair because you are just ignoring what they did to San Francisco, who their issues were not inability to score this year. San Francisco's offense hummed except for when they played Seattle. Mm-hmm. San Francisco's offense was excellent, even with the injuries, in almost every circumstance, even with backup quarterbacks, except when they played Seattle. And so Seattle's defense struggled with Matthew Stafford. You keep making the point of...
Nick, but don't you think Seattle coming off a bye and San Francisco playing an East Coast game in a short week...
that has something to do with the 41-6.
Yes, but it's... I mean, if we put up Seattle's defensive numbers, the idea... It is unfathomable to me to make the argument this defense that we have seen all year actually overrated because one guy, the guy who's going to win league MVP, who has seen him half a dozen times, had success against him. Like that, and by the way, the first time that guy played this defense this year, he did not have any success against him. The team scored 18 points or 21 points despite the 4 turnovers by the quarterback. So I think you can believe the Patriots have a really good defense and not have the argument the defense is better than Seattle's. Like, you guys do have the better quarterback. He's not playing better, but you have the better quarterback. I think skill position probably goes Seattle. I think offensive line goes Seattle. I think saying across the board New England is, I just don't know what there is to back that up. That's what I would say. I don't know what there is.
And if you look how New England played defensively in the playoffs, and I know we showed Drake May in the regular season, Drake May in the postseason, and the difference, if you look at New England's defense in the regular season and the postseason, I'm pretty sure they've improved in every single category too.
But so I agree with that. So what is fair then? So it's, because what it seems to me, because I'm conceding and have been conceding, I think New England's defense is peaking. I think New England's defense is excellent. I think New England right now does have a top 5 defense. I just don't think it's better than Seattle, which is either best or second best. What it seems like you two want to argue is New England's defense is who they've been in the playoffs, and their quarterback's who he was in the regular season. I don't think you get it both ways. I think that if you think you are getting the better defense in this game, then you also have to be like, by that measure, we're not getting the better quarterback in this game. And if you think, man,
I'm willing to line up. Someone needs to tell me that Sam Darnold is better than Drake May. No, is Sam Darnold
nobody
is
better than
okay,
Drake
then good.
May.
Then we're all in agreement.
He's not better than Matthew Stafford, but he just outplayed.
No, but your argument for the Patriots, and you need to tell me the Patriots defense is better than the Seahawks without using the playoffs exclusive argument.
Why not? Why can't I?
Because
the only argument that you have that Drake May is not the best player in the league or second best quarterback in the league this year is because you point to 3 games where he was down. So I'm pointing to the Patriots defense that all of a sudden Justin Herbert, I guess, off of a week's rest that picked the Patriots, melted down. They made C.J. Stroud melt down, and we went into, and whatever, I'm not going to throw a parade for Jarrett Stidham, but I was subjected to a week-long hearing how Jarrett Stidham was going to be good from analysts and the Broncos coach. So yes, I think the defense getting to the Super Bowl and playing at a peak level, I think they're better than Seattle's defense. I think they're going to prove it on Sunday. Again, I'm just laying these out so when, again, I walk through the door of Destiny on Monday, like, wow, turns out you were right again. Maybe I'll be wrong. Well, I doubt it.
All right, like you would say, I'm not trying to be disagreeable. I'm trying to disagree.
To disagree, yes.
Somehow, despite the Patriots making the Super Bowl, your predictions on how they were going to play prior to each game have been stone wrong. That week 1 was Drake May. He's never struggled. And the AFC Championship game was going to be a blowout.
A
blowout.
You know what? It was only a double-digit victory and only a passer rating of 142 in the second half.
KW, you were on the air the next day and said he struggled.
He did struggle. He struggled for the first half.
And the AFC Championship game was supposed to be a blowout. By your metrics of the same thing.
Maybe I was wrong.
There's no maybe. We saw it.
I was wrong. I was wrong. You got
But
me.
you won.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
That's all that matters.
But I was wrong. It turns out everybody else is right. Sorry. Welcome back to First Things First. Joining us now on behalf of Lowe's, which we love the Lowe's commercials.
Yeah.
And he's got a 5-gallon bucket chain.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Which looks beautiful, courtesy of Lowe's. It's the one and only Justin Jefferson.
That is sweet.
Justin, we were talking about how we love the Lowe's commercial. We want to give you a chance to talk about your partnership with Lowe's.
Yeah, the partnership with Lowe's has definitely been growing and definitely has been great. You know, of course, people see the commercials, but, behind the scenes, growing the partnership, growing that relationship is the main thing and most important thing. So I'm just happy to be on board, happy to, be with this staff and be with these people. But the what we're doing down the line and the relationship that we have down the line is something that, is growing.
Look, Justin, I've done some acting in my day, and you definitely have a future on the big screen.
Wow.
Believe me, you definitely do.
Played Chris
If you want
Broussard
it,
in every
if you
movie.
want it.
Like Chris Broussard.
Okay.
Look up Jackson Blade.
Y'all might need to see me in some movies coming up.
That's what I'm talking about, man, for real.
All right, speaking of, we have a big debate on the show, Justin. We call everything the catch of the year, but we have narrowed down. We have 5 catches of the year candidates, and we want you to just decide the catch of the year. This is Isaac Tessel, week 1 against the Packers, and then
that one was tough.
My recent most favorite divisional round, Kayshawn against the Texans.
Nice.
Puka week 13.
In the snow?
Thank you, in the snow.
The Puka one is going to be hard to beat, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Wait. I'm not gonna lie. Did y'all see the Puka one in Atlanta? The one he almost caught?
Oh, the one that that could have won the game, but there was
sideline.
Yeah.
We didn't count.
Oh my God.
Non-catches, but I would have counted that as a catch.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
This was good. It kind of OBJ.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah.
And then
that one was tough as well.
From flag, since we know you're a flag football aficionado, Treylon Burks. No, that's Treylon.
Yeah.
Bryce.
I mean,
that was tough.
That's the best one, but that's a Nerf ball. So we're not going
not a
with
Nerf
that.
ball.
Let Justin tell
Justin,
us.
that was the catch of the year.
Which is the best one, Justin?
Ooh, this is tough. Oh my God. Wow. The Puka one.
Oh, man.
The Puka one is tough. I'm going to go with the Puka one just because off of experience and off of, you know what I'm saying, off of how mine went down. You know what I'm saying? Having somebody kind of be in the way and hitting the ball.
Right there, it's done.
That's
Puka Nacua.
Congratulations.
Catch of the year.
Level to it.
And that actually,
Puka Nacua.
Justin, that actually sets me up quite well because I have a tendency, Wilds I think hates it, which is whenever we talk to someone, if I've ever said anything bad or even any mildly disrespectful about them when they're not here, I'm like, I have to say it to them while they're here. Now,
it takes up a lot of the interview.
This was not disrespectful. However, we on the last week on the show had a kind of impromptu who's the best receiver in the league conversation. And I said each of the last 3 years I would have said it's Justin Jefferson. But and it was going into the NFC Championship game. It's like, but right now I feel like JSN and Puka have grabbed the pole position there. So I'm asking you, do you think I'm wrong? Do you think you're still the best receiver in the league? All right, tell me why.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, how I'm not. I mean, just
you watch the games, right?
Just based off the quarter. I mean, you know, a lot of people base it off of the quarterback play and, you know, just different things that really go into, you know, my position. Obviously, I got to, you know, rely on and, you know, I got to depend on a lot of people in order for me to get that ball. So, you know, if I don't have, you know, an elite, elite position or elite quarterback that's throwing me the ball the entire year, then it's a little bit difficult to be in those conversations. Having a young quarterback that's still learning the game and still learning his potential in his league, you know, you kind of have those difficult seasons, which I had this past year. So I still think that I'm still number one. I still think that no one in this league can cover me man to man. That's without a doubt. So, you know, my confidence level will always be high, and I always will feel that I'm number one in my eyes.
Pretty good.
Yeah, look, I don't disagree with anything you just said, Justin. And look, during the season, I've been somewhat, not overly, but somewhat critical of like A.J. Brown when he's come out and talked about I need the ball or the passing game. And I said earlier this week, kind of jokingly, but I was like, you know, Justin might need a little more A.J. Brown in him just to, because you've been great and not caught. And I'm like, look, you know, you are arguably or the best receiver in the game right now. We're talking about your numbers, being a Hall of Famer. You know, every player of your caliber wants to put up huge numbers, and you have been great to your quarterbacks. As you said, even if they're learning, even if they're first-year starters, you haven't had that ultra-elite quarterback at all, and you've been just a good soldier. Why is that? That's just your nature, or do you just say, look, it's not good for the team? Or I actually respect that you haven't come out and been critical, but is it a challenge because, you know, you put the team first?
Nah, it's a little mixture of both. I never will downplay anybody in the media. I know how it looks, and I understand I understand my words and how much, you know, people really listen to what I have to say. So if I'm in the media and I'm downplaying my starting quarterback, a young quarterback at that's his first year playing, that's going to do nothing but tarnish the relationship we have and the connection that we have built. So I will continue and always will, you know, give a good light to my quarterback or whatever situation that we have going on. But obviously, I require more and expect more, you know, from my quarterback or from that person that I'm talking about. But never in my, you know, years of playing this game that will I ever downplay anybody in the media.
Justin, last year, when Darnold shocked everyone maybe outside of Minnesota, maybe some in Minnesota with his production, a lot of people, I'll go hand up on this one, we get retroactively, we were like, yeah, that's Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson, though. Like, it's a good year by Sam, but that, you know, that, and you guys obviously had a lot to do with it. But I did not think it was possible that he could duplicate that in Seattle. When he left, like, how surprised are you, if at all, and what was the year playing with Darnold like?
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely surprised that they reached it to the Super Bowl. That's definitely something that I don't think anyone was expecting to happen. But, to see the plays that Sam made, to see the poise that he had throughout the season, leading us into 14 wins that season, it definitely was difficult to do. So I'm not overly surprised that he had another great year, but I'm definitely surprised that he made it to the Super Bowl. And I'm happy for him that he made it to the Super Bowl because I feel like he put in the work and he really understood how to really play this game. Having JSN, having Cooper Kupp, having a great running back in Walker, having a great old line over there in Seattle. I feel like he was just cool, calm, and collected and poised the entire year and just really just allowed his play to speak for himself. And I always said this, that as long as Sam hold the ball in his hands with no turnovers and not giving the ball to the defense, then Sam's going to win majority of those games. He's that good of a quarterback, and I'm just happy to see him on the stage.
So we've got 30 seconds left. This is the most painful part of the interview for me. As a Patriots fan, we've asked Josh Allen and Jamar Chase and the great Charles Woodson to make their Super Bowl picks, all great players, and now we're asking you, who do you have this Sunday?
Even though I think it's going to be a great game, I think it's going to come down to the last minutes, last seconds of the game, because I feel like both teams are evenly matched up. I feel like they both have a good offense, a good defense to battle this out. But I do think Seattle is going to win.
Hey, there we go.
I'm sorry to
Justin Jefferson, everybody. Used to be one of my favorite players. Brought to you by Lowe's. Have a great season. Okay, thanks. Thank you, Justin.
See you, man.
Thank you, man.
Love, man. Appreciate y'all.
Live from New York, it's First Things First, overtime. Oh, an old overtime classic.
Love it.
First one not about Caleb.
That's why I love it.
We're going to guarantee that Drake May outplays Sam Darnold.
I feel like there was a Justin Herbert guarantee mixed in there as well.
I just like that it's not explicitly targeted at me and my guys. Wilds can feel the pressure for a change.
Meanwhile, are we surprised Giannis is staying with the Bucks and the Instagram post that you have to see to believe?
Can't wait to discuss this.
I haven't seen it yet.
So you can't believe it
I actually
yet.
just looked at it.
Is it good?
I think it's the one they were talking about.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be surprised. And finally, who's going to win the MVP of the Super Bowl? Also, who's going to win MVP tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to win MVP of Frenemies?
Who's going to win MVP
I
of
know
Frenemies?
who's going to win tonight.
You do? You have insight?
No, we all know.
We don't know.
What is
know.
the line on it?
I would be
Minus
shocked.
minus 400.
Okay.
I'd be shocked. We all would.
Nick Wright,
Would
Danny
you be
Parker.
shocked?
I would be shocked, but I don't think the hay is in the barn, as they say.
What's that mean?
Well, I guess it actually is. Votes are counted. But the point is, I don't think it's a guarantee. I don't think it's a lock. No info's leaked on it. So are you rooting?
I'm now rooting for Stafford.
Really? Well,
He thinks it's a chip on your shoulder.
It's all the disrespect.
There's enough of that going around.
right, he could win it and still feel disrespected.
Everybody's
picking
win it,
the
and I would just more disrespect.
You expect to win Coach of the Year tonight?
Coach of the Year, probably, yeah.
McDonald's a favorite.
He's probably
disrespect.
Also, only one person this century has won MVP and the Super Bowl the same year. Only one person, one instance.
Mahomes,
of course.
Okay. Very interesting. Welcome to First Things First overtime. Drake May's shoulder no longer a concern. Is Drake trying to become the youngest QB to ever win a Super Bowl? Here's Vrabel on Drake.
And I think I probably realized that before I got here. I think that's it's a large part of the reason that I wanted to be here. I think the thing that was the accuracy outside of the pocket or on the move is, I've touched on it, is just the way that he plays the position. It's just, he has an athletic nature to the way that he plays the position.
Is anyone willing to guarantee, Danny, we'll start with you, that Drake outplays Sam Darnold?
No. I mean, I can give you the reason, but
let's hear it.
I kind of want to pass the ball around and see if you're gonna
Oh, no, I guarantee that May outplays Darnold. No, I will not.
Look, I think Drake can. I might even be leaning toward he will outplay Darnold. But guaranteed, no way.
Yeah.
No way. Not even close.
Yes. Ain't no fun when the rabbit.
Obviously.
You guaranteeing
Yes, obviously.
Yes,
guaranteeing it.
Yes.
Why? Okay.
You know we asked that of Danny so many times this year as like hazing. You didn't have, I mean.
How did you do on? But oftentimes you did well. With Caleb, you did well.
I don't think you did well, though, did you?
He did okay. I think he batted about 500.
You won the bet with Shador, but that was kind of me dropping the ball.
That was a rough one.
That was me dropping.
You don't remember the banner of me and the 3 Chicago Goats?
Yeah.
I think that, look, I understand people's pessimism about Drake May and the pressure rate and him getting sacked. He's been sacked a ton. They also have won 17 games with him getting sacked a ton. He was sacked a ton in the Browns game, and he was easily able to win the Browns game. He was sacked a ton during the Chargers game. He was getting hit. We won that game by double digits. The one thing I am worried about, or I think is a concern, is getting sacked and losing the ball in the Texans game, because I do think that is just rolling the dice. Part of me thinks that once Will Campbell is so far back, he can fall on it. Sure, but I
full fumble recovery.
Yeah, but if the ball starts hitting the ground, I think that's very dangerous. That being said, if turnovers is what you're thinking about, because I don't think anyone's thinking down the field passes, or like, you think Sam Darnold's going to, as far as down the field passes, you think it's Darnold over Drake?
I am simply saying I think it is absolutely on the board that they both play a clean game, and Darnold outplays him. Like, I think that what I think has been kind of lost a bit in the shuffle of the week is how great that conference championship game was from Darnold. So these are win the game, throw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, don't turn it over. NFL history. So it's Mahomes, Nick Foles on an all-time heater, which maybe is the comp here because he then carried that into the Super Bowl.
It was great.
Brady, Matt Ryan is MVP year, who he carried that into the first 2.5 quarters of the Super Bowl. And he didn't turn the ball over late in that game, or had the sack fumble, I guess. And Bart Starr. It was a all-time performance by him. Now, I do think the Patriots defense is much better than the Rams defense where it was at the end of the year. So I'm not predicting he's going to have a perfect game, and that was close to a perfect game. But I do think on the board of possible outcomes, I'll give a 15% slice to Drake May plays an A- and Darnold plays an A. You know what I like? Where they both play well, they don't turn the ball over, and Darnold just does to Drake May what he did to Matt Stafford. You play your best, I'll play my best, and I win. Like, I think that is on the so to answer your question, I think that's on the board of possible possibility.
Yeah, and what I've sensed a lot from you this week, Wilds, is the surprise of which this part I share with you. Like, who is the better quarterback?
Drake May.
Right, but I don't think that everyone's talking about it in those terms. Drake May is better than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has just been better in these playoffs than Drake May, but that should be graded by the opposing defenses and the weather conditions and those things that they've played. But I still think that Drake May is better than Sam Darnold. But one of the reasons I'm not willing to guarantee it is because of the respect of Darnold. I do think Seattle's better. And also, it's obviously a huge spot. It's the Super Bowl. But normally, when guys get to the Super Bowl this early in their lives, like this young, he could be the youngest ever to win it. We know that. But just make it a bigger set. Make it 25 and under. They don't generally play all that well. It is such a huge moment. It is so much pressure. They haven't seen, only 3 of the 16 25 and under quarterbacks have ever thrown for multiple touchdowns in those games, and a lot of those were in losses. And so it's just...
So that's like Big Ben.
Mahomes did it.
Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes in 2019, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks in a win. Mahomes in 2020, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in a loss. Marino in 84.
In a loss.
Goff in a loss. So it's just that Mahomes, Russ, Drew Bledsoe. Bledsoe also had 4 interceptions in that spot. It's just Joe Burrow was in that spot. Joe Montana was in that spot. So huge names, obviously great players. It's just you don't normally get your best, your peak of your powers from a really young guy when the lights are this bright.
That's where I think this is one of the foundations of my thought process. The Patriots going through the gauntlet of the Chargers defense, the Texans defense, and the Broncos defense. Even though Jarrett Stidham was out there, it's still that Broncos defense on the road. Once you get up against that Seahawks defense, I almost would prefer that, although I'd have to take some criticism during the show. I'd prefer if he lit it up against the Rams defense. I'd prefer if he lit up the 49ers defense. But I actually think going through those 3 teams and playing the Seahawks, I have felt this pass rush. We've been here before. I know how to win a game, if it's not comfortable. It's not going to be a shock to the system.
I think that's actually totally reasonable, especially because the flip side of it is you had a bye, you played the Rams defense, you played the Niners defense, and then for May, this is also going to be ideal conditions.
Oh, yeah, he's wearing shorts. I was like, look at that.
That's going to feel a lot better.
So for Drake May, this might feel easy by comparison, even though Seattle's defense is excellent.
Yeah, look, I think, as I said, I'm kind of leaning towards May playing well. I get it that a lot of guys in their first Super Bowl haven't performed well, but I think the struggles in the AFC playoffs, I think facing those tough defenses, I think he's learned a lot mentally from these playoffs where because he didn't face a ton of adversity in the season. They played an easy schedule. He was great in just about every game or very good in every game. Now to go into the playoffs, to have some adversity, to face some great teams and come out on top, I just think the poise he showed and even telling himself man, I can handle this. I don't have to play lights out for us to win. I just win. I think all that bodes well for him. So look, I'm just not willing to guarantee
the sexier answer is Patriots comfortably. I could also see just what I call the boa constrictor game. You get up a little bit, and that's Vrabel, clock management, long drives, long fields for Darnold, and it's just all of a sudden the Patriots won the game.
Here's my question, because I think everybody can see that happening. I don't think everybody can see Patriots blowout. Right. I think most people think Patriots blowout in one scenario and one scenario only. Darnold, travesty game, which I don't think people are expecting.
Yeah.
But the boa constrictor game for New England, it is interesting to me that you don't think it's possible for Seattle. That for the exact everything, because what we have yet to see, and it's a testament to how great their defense has played, is Drake, my opinion, I think we can all at the very least agree on this, has played 3 very bad first halves.
Yeah.
That in all 3 games, he was bad in the first half. And in all 3 games, he didn't trail for a second in the second half, despite that. How different is it if Seattle is able to avoid the self-inflicted wounds of C.J. Stroud, the Jared Stidham of Jared Stidham, and Justin Herbert in the playoffs of Justin Herbert? And again, your defense had something to do with it. But if Drake has a rough first half, and instead of it being 7-7 or a Patriots lead, it's 13-3 Seattle. And Seattle's offense hasn't done that much. They hit one big play like that. That to me is the nervous point for you guys.
Seahawks favored by 4.5. And the experts seem to be mostly lined up with the line. Now this desk is 2-1 with Brew leaning heavily to Seattle in his checkmark system.
Yes.
Sports Illustrated.
Trying to reveal my pick. I don't know why you think you know who I'm going.
You just haven't said anything nice about the Patriots. Sports Illustrated goes 9-1 Seahawks Patriots. ESPN goes 48-10, Danny, and 2 of the 10 votes are from people who played for the Patriots. Teddy Bruschi and McCourty. NFL.com goes 21 of 24 for the Seahawks. Charles Woodson, Jamar Chase, Josh Allen, and most recently Justin Jefferson, guests of the show, also all
T.
on the
Higgins,
Seahawks.
too. Remember, he gave us a thumbs up on it.
I couldn't hear his audio. I prefer not to remember that one. You were on Seahawks all year, Danny, and here are 4-point favorites in the Super Bowl since 2007, which they're 2-5 outright.
Yep.
So are you surprised so many people are picking the Seahawks when they used to be your corner alone? You and Mina. That's it.
Right, great company. But yes, this is actually really surprising to me. And this is, you'll be with me on this here. It should be about 2 out of 3 people picking Seattle, right? Just like the math of a 4-point favorite, 4.5-point favorite. Patriots are about a 2-1 underdog. The implied probability of that suggests it should be about 34-35% of people should be picking New England.
Can I ask you, do you remember what? It doesn't seem this lopsided for Eagles Chiefs last year.
No, Eagles Chiefs though was a 1.5-point line. The last point spread of this was Rams Bengals.
Yep.
And then the one before that was Brady Eagles and it was Nick Foles.
Yeah.
That was a 4.5-point spread too.
But the point is Rams Bengals was 4.5, and I certainly don't think going into that game 70. I guess, gosh, what is this? This is 85%.
Yeah, it's 85%.
85% of people were picking the Rams. So this brew to me. This indicates what if it was like a touchdown favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where people are just like
Correct.
puncher's chance almost. That part to me is odd.
Yeah.
Like that I do, because what you're not seeing alongside it is I understand Surtain did, but you're not seeing a lot of people be like, Seattle easy. It's a lot of, it's going to be a close, low-scoring game. That Seattle wins.
Yes.
Like, it seems like Barnwell, I said, wrote a 15,000-word article, ended up with Seattle by, I think,
and no one's
3.
like, you know what? This quarterback's actually better, and this coach is better, and this guy has more experience.
Yeah, I'm not positive the coach is better, but it's certainly everyone loves Vrabel. So but that's why I am surprised by it. I think the vast majority of people would say Vrabel's better than McDonald, and the vast majority of people would say that May is better than Darnold, and yet the vast majority of people are picking Seattle. Now, I among them, but like you said, I've been on Seattle all year, so I'm just being consistent there, and I think that New England is – I think the best Patriots team that we will see is in a year or 2 or 3. I think they're very ahead of schedule and just ended up in the Super Bowl. But yes, to answer your question, this shocks me.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I mean, nobody seems to believe in the Patriots except you. And I think, like I said earlier, people are looking at, okay, coaching is close, but maybe they're giving Vrabel the advantage. Yeah, Drake May's better or been better this season, but Darnold's been better in the playoffs, just outplayed everybody's All-American, Matthew Stafford. So a lot of them, I think, are giving the advantage to Darnold.
I agree.
And then the running game, even though, they don't have, neither one of them has a phenomenal back, but I think guys would take Kenneth Walker III over, your backs. The receivers, obvious. The defense, statistically, you got to go with Seattle. I just think they're looking at it like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. But I'm surprised that everybody's looking at it that way, but they're looking at your schedule. They're looking at the quarterbacks you face in the playoffs. And even though Herbert's viewed as good, he hadn't done anything in the playoffs, played a good game. So I just think that's where everybody is saying Seattle, of course.
Go, KW.
No, so here's the thing. And this has become a little bit of a stats contest. It's like, well, I've got this stat.
It's 2 weeks to preview.
I got
one
this,
game,
so it's fun. It's like, all right, so I pulled Ben Solak. Over 2 postseason games, Bradford on Seattle's line gave up 15.3 pressure rate according to Next Gen, and Barmore and Milton Williams are just all over that, right? And then Seattle turns the ball over a bunch. We can just keep on debating stats. There is something to be said for Patriots fans being so confident. That speaks to, and I know I already got shut down on this, a specialness to this team that I think Mangini has mentioned, Teddy Bruschi has mentioned, that it echoes, whether it's the disrespect or the camaraderie that this team has, that feels a little special, that feels a little bit of a doorstep. And I have no data to
You're resorting to pixie dust.
I've been there.
You know what? I might. But when you look back at great teams, it's not just a collection of players. And when you look back at that Rams-Patriots game, it's like, what may have decided the game when we were introduced as a team and the Rams wanted to run up the score. So,
but and to me, I look back and I'm like, oh, that was the beginning of the story of the greatest player in the history of the sport. And I don't think Drake May is that. I don't think Drake May is about to be, a 6-time Super Bowl champion. Maybe I'm wrong.
But he may be better. You can certainly argue
that he's better now than
I don't even think it's really
Brady wasn't a one.
Yeah.
But I also, this is where I think there is some regional bias, some fandom bias. If we did our show in the Pacific Northwest, and in my seat was Mina, would we have a lot more anecdotal evidence of how special the Seahawks are, of how DeMarcus Lawrence did this, and how they all love Mike McDonald, and
one
so
thing that sticks up to me when Sam Darnold had that meltdown game.
Yes,
they all rallied behind him, and that's the first time I was like, oh, this team's a little special.
Yeah,
it wasn't just, and I know the counterpoint is every team that does well in the playoffs is special. I don't think so.
No, I agree with
you.
They
feel like it's a special run for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't had a great playoff game before this year.
But there's a lot of teams that ended up losing in the Super Bowl, though, that up until they lost in the Super Bowl felt like a team with destiny.
Absolutely.
That Bengals team won all 3 games on last-second field goals. It was Joe Burrow in year 2. It was all special stuff, and then they lost.
Really? They had a door?
Okay, sorry.
Everything but the door.
Yeah.
I never said go ahead.
Everything but the door.
I never said door. Trade deadline came and went at 3 o'clock. Giannis still on the Bucks. Danny has been teasing a social media post from Giannis along with his take. So we discussed this earlier. We were upset that he was not maybe more forceful in leaving Milwaukee, and we kind of wasted another season of just not being in the playoffs. Danny, what's your take on Giannis?
He is going to be a Milwaukee Buck for his entire career.
Oh, that's a take.
No way.
Okay.
He's getting traded this summer.
You saw what he said in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, and we can show you what he just...
Hold on, before you show Instagram, if people didn't see what he said in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, just give it a quick recap.
Said, I want to be a Milwaukee Buck.
Okay.
For my career. I've always wanted to be here. I got...
Down the middle.
So why did we go through this whole charade?
I think that there's a real possibility that the largest basketball insider in the game here is stone wrong. I think that is.
I mean, he wasn't the only one They were naming the 4 teams that were going after
trying to trade for him. Those trade offers that Miami was able to put together with 2 first-round picks for a 2-time MVP are straight up laughable. When Jared Jackson Jr. just got 3 first-round picks and then some. Those trades were fantasies.
Yes.
They were completely ridiculous.
Agreed.
And so the Warriors trade was ridiculous with Kuminga and bad first-round picks attached to it.
The ones this summer may not be. If Houston...
Okay.
Nick mentioned OKC earlier, San Antonio. If they all have bad experiences in the playoffs, they may say, you know what, let's go get Giannis. And I think Milwaukee was smart for saying, we'll wait.
Let's see what Giannis put on Instagram, and he did it coordinated on all of his socials, Twitter, Instagram, and everywhere. Legends don't chase, they attract, with the Wolf of Wall Street clip of
I'm back, or I'm back. Or
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's.
And you could say, you can roll your eyes, Brew, and say that he's pandering. But he has been every opportunity to sign an extension in Milwaukee. He has signed an extension in Milwaukee. And he has recruited to Milwaukee. And this offseason, he can sign a 4-year, $275 million extension in Milwaukee. And this offseason, they can now trade 3 first-round picks. The Bucks can. 2026, 2031, 2033. They could have a top 5 pick in this year's draft, depending on how the lottery goes.
Probably not, though.
But we'll see. We'll see what they do with Giannis. Because they get the worst of the 2 picks of theirs and them in New Orleans. Them in New Orleans. We'll see how much Giannis plays. Ryan Rollins right now is a dark horse most improved player candidate. They can trade Kuzma's deal. They can trade Portis's deal.
I'm shocked
they have the mid-level exception. The East is terrible. I truly believe Giannis wants to be his basketball hero, Kobe, and play in one place his entire career.
Kobe was ready to leave for the record, LA. He almost went to the Clippers.
He almost went to the Bulls at one point, too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just, he's brought Dame, didn't work out. We obviously won a championship with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, but I mean, look, if Giannis wants to stay in Milwaukee, God bless him. But I am shocked that you think this is proof. I think this was a smart move by the Bucks to say, as you said, we're getting terrible offers because the two teams that can really give us something we want aren't in the market yet. But let them struggle in the playoffs and they will be in the market.
Well, listen, if Giannis, when they offer him that full max extension, if Giannis turns it down, then that is the equivalent of demanding a trade. Because then Milwaukee has to trade him because you can't lose him for nothing in a year.
Don't you think it's also the smart move for the Bucks to trade him?
Well, that's the part that I am puzzled by. I understand you are a basketball romantic, as you say, but this is Romeo and Juliet style of romance that is going to end in tragedy. But Giannis Antetokounmpo going his entire 30s without playing meaningful basketball is a basketball tragedy.
That's not a guarantee. They in the East next year.
He's been in the East the last 5 years.
They've had horrible injury luck at the worst times. That series against the Heat, I was at Game 1. Giannis fell on his back and got injured. Middleton has gotten hurt in the playoffs. They have had terrible injury luck with timing.
And it closed their window.
All right. Congratulations to the Bucks. I think they're keeping him.
Is he playing this year then?
That's going to be tricky. He will want to.
Sitting down.
Let's play some frenemies. NFL Honors is tonight, where they will announce the regular season MVP. Drake May's got a shot at that. He also, though, has a shot at Super Bowl MVP, but it's no fun to pick a quarterback for that award. Darnold and May, the heavy favorites. Nick, you have a non-quarterback that you like for Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, and it's a selfish pick because since I've been on TV,
I know what you're going to do.
I haven't had a season as wrong as this one. Just wrong, left and right. Luckily,
what happens when the Chiefs finally lose.
Right. Well, it wasn't just that though. It'd be one thing if it was just the Chiefs. My big team that's everyone thinks is going to be bad is going to be good was the Raiders. Yeah, they were just bad. My big team everyone thinks is going to be good but they're going to be bad is the Broncos. They were the 1 seed. Just a lot of wrong. Somehow I still beat you in picks, but still.
Not with the playoffs.
However, my best moment, I think, was trade deadline day when everyone was freaking out about Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. And I said the only trade that happened today that moved any championship needle was Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks. And then I saw Rashid Shaheed's Super Bowl odds, and it's like, wait, he has the 5th best odds? He's a somewhat trendy pick?
Yeah.
And it's because he can score a touchdown without it also being a Darnold throw.
Yep.
Either via return, as we saw in the divisional round, or end around.
Yep.
And, where he gets all the stats. So it's just tricky to pick JSN because it's hard to see a huge JSN game that doesn't have a huge Darnold game. Now, Cooper Kupp did it, but I do think Seattle's going to win. And so Darnold's the smart pick, but if it's not Darnold, I like Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, so for the odds, Shaheed's an interesting pick. And, if the broadcast starts talking about, total yards.
Yes.
Right, they add, punt yards, kick yards,
all-purpose.
rushing, all-purpose yards. That could, narratively bring him in that direction. And you said it's tough to pick JSN, and so you'll accuse this of chalk. But that is my pick.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have said that if I knew
that. No, that's okay. We've seen a lot of receivers win Super Bowl MVP. There is a very consistent game script for how it happens. Low-scoring game where multiple touchdowns or a big yardage game goes to one player. If the Seahawks win 20-14, but JSN has 150 yards and a touchdown or 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, the vast majority of their offensive production all goes to one guy. That's the formula for, like you said, Cooper Kupp. We've seen him with Hines Ward, Deion Branch. We've seen a lot of receivers.
Hines Ward threw one.
Santonio Holmes.
But Edelman won Super Bowl MVP in a 13-3
exactly.
game.
And so in terms of percentage of offense, this is a pretty overwhelming statistic in terms of for teams that have reached the Super Bowl. We put this together. Highest percentage of a team's receiving yards, guys who ended up in the Super Bowl, Irvin, and Jerry Rice, and Cooper Kupp in 2021 and Jerry Rice in 1988, both won Super Bowl MVP.
And Jason's got the higher than any of them.
Correct, exactly. Yeah. In terms of one receiver getting the lion's share of the yards. So I just think that there's a historical game script that it could go to JSN, but we're both.
I also would take a small flyer on DeMarcus Lawrence.
Ooh, just the anti-Will Campbell play?
Correct. Yeah, it's really just Will Campbell is the LVP of the game, and DeMarcus Lawrence has 2 strip sacks.
Has the Von Miller game.
Exactly, yep.
All right, let's get to the NBA. You and I, huge basketball fans. We talk about it all the time. Trade deadline passed at 3 o'clock today. James Harden went to Cleveland. Anthony Davis to Washington. The big news of the day, even though I've been predicting it, Giannis staying in Milwaukee. Nick, what's your biggest surprise of the deadline?
Well, I know we're going to get to Giannis in a bit. I am stunned at how little trade value Anthony Davis had. Stunned. Anthony Davis was traded for what will be the 27th or worse first-round pick this year and a Warriors first-round pick in 4 years that is top 20 protected.
Right, so a bottom pick, yeah.
Or nothing.
Or it could convey.
Or it convey, or it conveys, it turns into seconds or something terrible. I understand the guy's on the wrong side of 30. I understand he has injury issues.
And he makes a ton of money.
I know all of that. I can't believe Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. went for good picks. The 2031 Phoenix pick.
I'm about to talk about it.
Okay, sorry. And a Utah pick a year from now, that's unprotected Utah pick. I can't believe Jaren Jackson Jr. has that much more value than Anthony Davis. And I can't believe the Golden State Warriors did not, if they knew they weren't getting Giannis, how do you not find a way to trade for AD rather than bringing Kristaps? You can't say it's injury issues because Kristaps has a different type of health issue, and Anthony Davis is at least a needle mover when he's out there. So that was stunning to me how far his value has fallen.
So we're saying the same thing here, but a little bit differently in that I am shocked at the teams that made the moves for a couple of the guys that you mentioned. And you're a great NBA historian. I've been thinking about it all day. I don't have great comps. Maybe they will come to you. But if I throw up the Jaren Jackson Jr. trade and the Anthony Davis trade, horrible teams traded for them. Like a 13-win team in Washington pushing chips in. And I know that they're not that valuable of assets, but it very much accelerates their timeline. It's like next year, Anthony Davis, Trae Young, and our young guys and our pick this year, we're going to go try to win in the East next year. You don't often see 13-win teams do that. And a 16-win Jazz team trading a 2027 first that's top 24 protected. The 2031 first from Phoenix is unprotected.
Yeah.
That could be the first pick in the draft. And listen, Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the best defensive players in basketball. He's been Defensive Player of the Year. He's led the league in block twice. But you don't often see teams with less than 20 wins push in all of their chips. And they're just saying, these are moves for next year. Because they still need to lose games for this year to pick in this unbelievable draft we have.
So Washington still wants to get – Washington's hope is we're going to end up with a top 3 pick and have Debansa, Peterson, or Boozer.
Yep.
To go with Sarr, Trae Young, and AD. The Jazz are like, Keontae George has accelerated our timeline, but your point...
Keontae George, Walker Kessler, Lowry Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., Ace Bailey, plus their pick. It's like, oh, okay.
But they still need to lose because they lose their pick if it's outside of the top 8. So my read on it's a little different in that I think it is teams acknowledging free agency doesn't exist anymore. Not that Utah was ever going to be a free agent destination, but Washington maybe could be. But guys don't hit free agency. Cap space is no longer a valuable commodity in the NBA the way it used to be, because guys simply say, I'd like my extension, way to beat, now trade me, as opposed to rolling the dice on that. And so those teams, like at Washington, trading for Trae Young and Anthony Davis, potentially putting them both on ice this year and be like, but next year we have a new team. Utah was like, finally, Keontae George is good enough. We kept Markkanen. Let's go try to win now. I respect it. Because I don't think that Utah gave up maybe some valuable assets, but if they're going to try to win, then their pick in 2 years is not as valuable. And Washington, I think, got the steal of the year by getting Anthony Davis for that little.
All right, so now let's talk about Giannis here. Yeah. Because I've been advocating for this for years. Like, I just do not think they should trade him. I think that they've got a new coach. They got him new players. It hasn't worked. Bad luck. But, like, they are going all in around Giannis, and they are going to continue to do so, even though they don't have a ton of assets going forward, though they get more this offseason. Why do you think it's so ridiculous to say?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just like this offseason, they can trade 3 first-round picks to go get a great player to put around Giannis and then go try to win the East. Why is that ridiculous?
Because they have gone all in twice and lost. And it's the reason we say you go all in is because the idea is if this doesn't work, you're out. It's come from the poker world, obviously. They went all in on Dame. It did not work. It's bad luck. It did not work. Yeah. They then, went into their shoe and were like, man, I put this money in my shoe so I didn't lose at the poker table because I need cab fare home. This is old, and this is something that I've done back in the day when there were cabs instead of Ubers.
Yeah, I've done it.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm buying in with this too. Then they lost that as well. And instead of walking out of the casino, they're like, how does cash advance work? And that never works. You got to, at some point, cut your losses. And what is best for Giannis is to go to a team that can instantly contend, and what is best for the Bucks is that they start the rebuild, not continue to deny the reality. And the reality is the era ended on some bad luck.
If they get young, all-star caliber players in trades this offseason, plus excellent picks, that's fine. But the stuff that was being reported for Giannis has been so wildly disrespectful to his talent that I think Milwaukee looks around and is like, oh, well, we have a few assets that we can trade to try to build a contender in the East and keep the most popular player in franchise history home.
So that's the part that I disagree. I agree with the first part. I think the Warriors trade or the Knicks trade were outrageous.
Outrageous.
I wouldn't even create the full screens for him because I thought this is insane why Milwaukee would take it.
Oh, why didn't they trade him to Minnesota for Julius Randle?
No.
Get out of here.
No, so that part I agree with you on. But they will be able to get a full marketplace real trade this offseason, and that's when I think it's best for both sides. So I don't blame them for not trading him for 30 cents on the dollar today. I will blame them if they decide to flip 3 future firsts for Kyrie Irving this offseason. That won't work. You would buy into Kyrie and Giannis together.
Ja Morant, Trey Murphy, Giannis, let's go. Run it back, Milwaukee.
It's a terrible idea.
Don't be afraid.
It's a terrible idea.
Back here on the OT, we got Coach Mangini out here on the desk. Super Bowl Sunday, fast approaching. Everyone knows that Seattle's a 4.5-point favorite. But I used to love watching these back in the day as a kid. Just an old school tale of the tape. And I got an old school coach out here. So we're going to run down some of the great, the big factors in the game, according to Coach Mangini, and then I'll tell him if I agree or not. All right, Coach, first up, it's a quarterback league. Which team has the advantage at quarterback?
I don't know if I like I have an old school coach out here.
I could have just said old.
Not that, well, yeah, I don't like that either. I probably like that less. Yeah, for me, this is interesting because as Drake May was coming out of college, when I talked about him with Wilds early on, I said he reminded me of Sam Darnold, and that was the player comparison that I made when we were talking about him. And I think in his first year, to some degree, there was a little bit of that trajectory. Now, he had the benefit that Sam didn't have of getting a guy like Josh McDaniels in the second year, and you saw the growth that took place. Now, Sam Darnold is sort of on the hero's journey here, where he has the failure in New York, and look, we could point to the organization, and then Carolina, and then San Francisco, and then Minnesota, and we saw in Minnesota where things went well until it didn't at the end of the year with the last game of the season, and then the playoffs, and that big moment he folded. And then we fast forward to this year, and I think you and I were talking about it, that first Rams game, that was another big moment for him, and he had the 4 interceptions. And then we go back to, we fast forward in the playoffs, and he took a huge jump. And that huge jump was the NFC Championship game where he performed in a big moment. And I think, to me, that's what gives him the edge. It's the combination of him getting over that hump and also the fact that he has the experience that he has, and he's performed at the level that he has for 2 different teams over the last 2 years.
You make the case very well, and he obviously has more experience, and I am picking Seattle in the game. I haven't been shy about that since the matchup was set. But I still think the body of work this year, I just believe Drake May is a better football player than Sam Darnold. I think that there might be other situations and the defenses that Darnold played, and certainly JSN and the receiver that he can throw to. So even though one is coming off the best game of his life and the biggest game of his life, and the other has struggled in these playoffs, I still believe Drake May to be the better player. As we go through here, Coach, tail of the tape. Better weapons? I feel like this one's easier.
Yeah, I'd say at the core, it's got to be Seattle, and they have the best offensive player with Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I do think New England's going to do a good job of trying to take him away. I don't know if they're going to be able to take him away as consistently as they hope to, and then it's going to come down to how well they can fool Sam Darnold as to when he's doubled and when he's not doubled. And then with Kenneth Walker Jr., he's been more productive than Ramondre Stevenson has, and I like Stephon Diggs a lot, and he's outperformed what I thought he would do in New England, and I'm sure New England's probably surprised at how well it's gone. Also, tight ends, to me, it's somewhat of a wash. Seattle really uses more of their tight ends for blocking than production.
It feels like a lot of solid players, and then one of the best players in football is on Seattle, which just tilts it to me for Jay.
You don't think the running backs are slanted Seattle's way too? Or the first running back?
Well, that's the thing. I think Kenneth Walker III, sure, but then Stevenson and Henderson would probably be 2-3. They've been using Stevenson more than Henderson, but JSN's just clearly the best weapon on either team by a considerable margin. Now this is where it gets interesting. Coach Mangini, defensive coach, who has the better defense in the Super Bowl?
I like New England's defense, and I know that's not the in vogue pick, but in watching them, everybody's contributing. They're using everybody in different roles. They're doing a lot of things in terms of whether it's variations of coverages, variations of pressures, the way that they're disguising coverages. So all that being said, the multiples of multiples that they've been bringing in the playoffs, and the way that they're doing it with very few mental errors, to me is going to be hard for Sam Darnold to diagnose. And I know we talked about the defensive lines. I think New England's defensive line stands up to Seattle's defensive line, and you have to include the outside linebackers in that mix, because they use their outside linebackers as down linemen, and you can't just count the interior defensive linemen in that package.
We'll get to coaching in just a second. I just want to put it up there because I was shocked at how close the numbers have become when you factor in the playoffs. Part of it's weather, part of it's opposing quarterbacks, the whole, right, Stroud having a terrible game playing Stidham, but these are first and second now in opponents' points per game, Seattle and New England is clearly playing their best defense of the season. I still slightly lean Seattle. All right, who's got the coaching advantage? Both head coaches finalists for Coach of the Year tonight.
Yeah, to me, it's New England. You've got Vrabel. He's got the playing experience. He's got the experience in New England. He's got the head coaching experience. He's got the Super Bowl experience. Those things are a huge edge. And then when you factor in Josh McDaniels, this is his 9th Super Bowl. Yeah. He's played over half of a season. He's coached over half of a season worth of Super Bowls. And that being able to bring that Super Bowl experience through the preparation, through the pregame, through the halftime, all those things, it seems like a little thing, but that experience it can be a big thing because there's so many distractions leading up to the game.
I think McDonald would be my vote for Coach of the Year. Kubiak just got a head coaching job, but you can't argue against that experience point. The depth on New England's coaching is ridiculous, and Vrabel in-game has been special, no doubt. NFL honors tonight. I don't know why I don't have a vote, but I'll tell you who I would have voted for on the other side. NFL honors tonight, Coach. We get to find out regular season MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, the Hall of Fame inductees. You may have heard there's been some controversy around that. I don't know why I don't have a vote. I should. People need to remember these are regular season awards. It's not about the playoffs. So Drake May has not really helped his MVP case based on the playoffs. But in the regular season, I would have voted for Drake May. I know everyone thinks Stafford is going to win, and his counting numbers were spectacular. But I do think there is a doing more with less argument for May. A lot of the advanced numbers liked May, but he didn't have Puka, he didn't have Devontae, he didn't have Sean McVay, he didn't have a top 5 running game during the year, he didn't have a top 5 defense during the year, which the Rams were for the majority of the year. I would have given my vote to Drake May.
Yeah, I would have gone with Matthew Stafford. and
led in yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, the numbers are too compelling.
Well, we'll see who wins tonight. Probably Stafford. All the other awards get given out. We'll be back tomorrow on First Thing First.